I am ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect?
Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey there. Welcome to the Detroit Cast on a Friday with Mike and Jay. Big E is here. Kadog is here. No poos. No poos. No poos. No poos. I texted Beth and asked her if she wanted to come over with the poos, but I haven't heard. Into the mic, you son of a bitch, if you're going to holler out. It's Hoodie Friday, so what are you doing, E?
Way to be ready for the show.
His microphone's way out of the way. You're a mess. Anyway, yeah, we've made it to through another week. Well, almost made it through another week. A couple hours away, I suppose. And a lot to get to. Dare I say a big show today. We've got a shark attack.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Gives
really?
me the willies.
I love those little poos. They're so adorable, all 20 feet long and stuff. God, I'd love to pet one.
Brutal.
Oh, I love them. Lesbians and dads, little wee actors. We got a judge who's in some trouble. Actually, a few judges in some trouble. We got a judge that laid the hammer down on a toy. Unbelievable. I don't know what she did to break the law, but she pissed someone off. Ooh. We got Racial Thursdays to talk about. And then a couple horrifying stories that we'll get to right out of the gate. The 911 calls have been released in a couple separate baby murders, which are just, dude,
not a good trend.
I listened to I listened to a couple minutes of one of them, and I listened to the other one, and it was infuriating to listen for me. Listening to this woman call 911 as she's, and I'll play it for you, but my blood was boiling as I listened to it. I wanted to fucking murder someone.
Not a baby.
Namely the lady that did this to her. So we'll explain in a minute.
Yeah, hey, as you've heard before, Zot Ford needs more pre-owned inventory, so now is the time to trade in that dumpy-ass used car. Hey, fuckface, it would have been in post-production.
When have we ever done that in post-production? Everything can be good in post-production.
You cannot be good.
Jay just throws around post-production like it's some magical formula that happens to make everything work.
Makes everything better.
We'll just fix that in post. Jay's throwing around industry terms. Fix in post.
I've been in this business for a year now. So now's the time to trade in that dumpy-ass used car you're driving and get yourself into a brand new shiny Ford. Zot Ford has one of the largest selections of new cars, trucks, and SUVs in the area, with over 400 new Fords to choose from. Here's the best news. Zot Ford will pay you 15% over Kelley Blue Book for your trade-in now through the end of the month. So check out their deals and massive inventory at zotford.com.
All right. I mentioned these horrifying things. We might as well get them out of the way now. 911 call. Did we do this story, both of these stories yesterday?
We didn't do the cutting the baby out.
Is that today's story?
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
what?
that was.
I think it was yesterday. I think I had that story yesterday and I didn't get to it.
Okay.
But they didn't have the 911 call out yesterday, which is out today.
We talked about the baby being beheaded.
Yeah, that's right. And we have that 911 call as well. This one is a 7 months pregnant woman. You've been there, not you personally, but Gab, you know what it's like to have a 7 month pregnant woman around. Yep. And she basically goes to a house. This woman is advertising that
on Craigslist,
Craigslist, another Craigslist one, that she's got baby clothes for sale. All right. And so this woman goes over there, is attacked by a woman who then cuts the baby out of her womb and leaves this woman lying, and then breaks a glass and is stabbing her with glass. She's never met this woman. And the woman ends up putting the baby in the bathtub. The husband comes home, has no idea what's going on, finds this baby in the bathtub. And she tries claiming with this woman dying downstairs that, I had a miscarriage. She was like faking that she was pregnant, or maybe she did have a miscarriage. She's got two teenage daughters, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, how fucking mental. So imagine that scene. And this woman is in the basement, locked the door somehow, and dials 911. And we have the audio here if you want to hear some of it. It was infuriating.
911, address of your emergency.
1620. Please.
1620 what?
Green, please.
I can't understand the street.
Green, please.
Green place.
Green like the color?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what happened.
She cut me
Who cut you?
downstairs. I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
I responded to.
Hang on.
Craig.
Hold on.
She's trying to say Craigslist.
Please. I'm downstairs.
Okay, who cut you?
This girl I responded to was ready for Jack.
What did she cut you with?
A knife. I'm pregnant. She got me in my stomach.
Not anymore.
I'm afraid.
She cut you in your stomach?
Come on, I'm pregnant.
Okay.
Please don't just,
What is the suspect's name?
I don't remember.
Hang on, okay? I'm gonna just. She is.
It's such a weird feeling when you just want to go to sleep.
I'm bleeding out.
I know you need to stay on the phone with me, okay? I'm getting everybody to you, okay?
And then my sister, I'm bleeding out.
I know you stay with me, okay? I got everybody coming to help you. You stay on the phone. Don't hang up. 2102, 2121 to 1620
She just said,
Green
"I'm
Place,
bleeding out."
1620 Green Place for a stabbing. That page, Lincoln 13, 1443. Can you grab a towel or anything you can get in your hands and put it on your wound and press? How far along are you?
7 months.
7 months? Okay.
They said
Are you alone in
that
the
this
house?
lady must have watched videos or something because she did almost a perfect cesarean section.
Oh, what a loser.
I know.
God.
And she's got 2 kids. It's not like, not that you would ever have any justification for this, but if some lady went off the deep end and it's like, oh, you found out she's been trying to have a kid for 20 years
Yeah.
and got to this point and she just lost her
Maybe
shit.
her 2 kids suck and she wanted a new one.
Maybe. Well, she did lose a kid too.
Hmm.
She had a boy. I guess her and her husband were trying for years to have a boy, and they had a boy. And at 19 months old, it drowned in the pond out behind their house.
Allegedly drowned.
No, it did.
Okay,
It
but
drowned.
was it an accident?
Well, yeah, but you could still drown.
Yeah, definitely drowned. But was it an accident?
I don't know. They said and this goes back years, and it was like, yeah, the 2 girls were playing a game out in the backyard with the 19-month-old, and the mom was in the house in one of the other rooms working on something. And like, I just can't imagine, like, that would be commonplace when we were growing up. Yeah, get out of here, you little rascal. Beat it. You send a kid out in his diapers. Who cares? Stay out of the street,
Yeah,
you.
it doesn't happen now.
Nowadays, you wouldn't dare do that with your kid. What's this whack job's name? Lane, Lane.
Oh, that's just so gross.
Isn't that just brutal?
Like,
and
you'd
then-
never imagine you're just going to buy some baby clothes.
Yeah.
Send
Show
your-
up at some random house. Like, really? I don't know. You got to think, though, on Craigslist, like, I've gotten into this argument with Beth before. She was trying to sell something at her house, put an ad on Craigslist, and had a couple guys come over to her house to, like, and I'm like, are you fucking mental? You invited a couple assholes to your house? Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, at least have me there. I mean, if nothing more than just,
Go meet at a neutral place.
or so, it was like a dresser, though. It's not like she could haul it around. So, but it's like, please don't do that again, where you're
Yeah.
just inviting people you don't know over to your home address. Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Come on, Beth.
Yeah, think.
Nuts, man.
But this woman at 7 months pregnant, trying to save $1 or $2 on a fucking onesie. I mean, like, really?
It's really, really common though to buy used baby clothes, but I get it. Yeah.
But really
I
go
know,
to
I
some
know, I
random
know.
person's house?
Yeah.
Would you feel comfortable letting Gab just
No.
by herself go off to a stranger's house?
no, I
to
guess
save a
this
couple
totally
bucks?
proves you can't trust anybody.
Well,
And you wonder why people drive their kids to the bus stops and shit like that. It's
that's
stories like this.
The world's never been safer in reality. You just hear about it now. Like, stories like this would be out of your little zone and you would never hear about it, where now you do.
Of course.
So it makes it seem like the whole world is collapsing on you when it's really not. But
So let those guys come over to Beth's house then.
no.
Hey, another dresser for sale at Beth's if anybody wants to go over and get
Yeah,
it.
let me give you the
Her
address.
address is
No, thank you.
come on, Mike. It's never been safer.
This woman remarried. She was actually running a baby clothing place too. Once Upon a Child, which buys and sells gently used children's garments. There was a baby registry set up in this woman's name last year, listed her due date is November 14th, 2014. The clothing in the registry was for a boy. Police are looking for any other women who may have responded to this ad.
You know who else owns a Once Upon a Child?
Who?
Merck.
Get out of here.
Merck and Lindsay.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't.
Friend of the show.
But-
Longtime friend of Mike and I.
Yeah. Now, he doesn't cut babies out of
I don't think so.
out of pregnant
He
women,
might.
does he? It wouldn't surprise me. I've known Merck a long time. I could see him doing that.
Not commonly, at least.
Yeah, not that you're aware of.
No.
Well, he knows better. He knows you'd narc him out. I mean, he could tell me, Mark, feel free to tell me. Say your secret's safe with me, my man. Take that one to my grave. Don't tell Jay, though. E, would you rat him out? You'd rat Mark out because you don't.
I don't
him.
know him. Who cares?
Once Upon a Child at Meadowbrook and 8 Mile, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
in
Go
there and
see him.
Say hi to
We
Mark.
love
We
the
played
owner.
soccer
Oh, a
with
free
him.
plug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Owners are great.
And then that story you mentioned, Jay, that we did do yesterday. And that woman, by the way, in that is gonna live. The woman that first lady there, they had got as far as the hospital. She had that dead baby wrapped in a towel and brought it in as if she had just had a miscarriage.
You bitch. Really?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
Isn't that infuriating? And the husband thought it was real. Thought she was playing this along like she was pregnant. He's like bringing her in thinking he's got this dead baby. And she's like, oh yeah, I just miscarried in the bathtub.
And she's probably such a load that it could happen, right? Looking at this chick, I'm sure. I don't know if she's pregnant. She could be 8 months pregnant. I don't know.
We've seen weirder scenarios before. And that, by the way, if Gab ever does that to someone, I think that's a situation where you could narc her out. Like, I was proud of this guy. He's talking to the cops and like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know,
you don't want to be around that.
No, absolutely not. I feel so bad for the two girls, though, like 13 and 15 or something.
Right.
Like, your mom's that much of a mental case. Holy shit. And then the story we did yesterday about the cutting off of the baby's head. And you just wonder where the ball was dropped in this situation where clearly there were signs.
3-month-old, right?
Yeah, it was born in December.
Placed in custody with a relative.
Yeah.
And then somehow the mom gets it back.
Well, and that's the woman who is first on this 911 call, is the one that they gave the baby to. And then for some reason, she let her niece move in with her, which was the niece wasn't supposed to be around the baby. They determined that the husband or boyfriend, the father, I guess, not boyfriend or husband, the father of the baby was negligent as well. So they wouldn't let the baby go with him. And so protective services are like, listen, we took the baby from this psychopath. We gave it to a family member.
An aunt. Okay.
And we just don't have the capacity to do 24/7 surveillance on a home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some thinking, common sense. Yeah. This woman's talking about demons, and like people all around that circle are going, yeah, she's fucking crazy. She was institutionalized at one point. Remember, feigning with her eyes open.
Oh yeah.
They were trying to get the baby away from her at one point, and they had to rip it out of her hands. She ended up stabbing this baby like 15 times, put the knife in the baby's hand as if the baby did it to himself.
Where was the head ever found?
On the counter or something. But but she does this to the baby, cuts its head off, and then went to bed covered in blood, clothes and everything, just goes to bed. And so the aunt wakes up in the morning and walks into the fucking kitchen to find the decapitated.
Oh my God.
Dude, I know this is like a horror film. And then you can imagine what the 911 call is.
Speaking of horror films, Kadog, we'll get to you.
Oh,
sure will. Superstar in our midst. Go ahead. Yep.
Thanks so much for being here, Robert.
Sunshine, I want to know the address of your emergency.
Somebody please send the police. My niece
Okay,
killed
ma'am.
her baby. Please.
What is the address?
5957 Wildwood.
Okay, ma'am.
Lord,
Who-
help me.
Ma'am, who were you you were just talking to somebody. Who were you just talking to?
My son, he came over here. He found the I was asleep. And he let his kids in to go to school because they go from my house. And he seen the baby on my sister. Oh my God, help me.
Listen to me. I need you to stop crying, okay?
Fast forward it to the
Stop
guy.
crying.
The guy gets on the phone. She ends up handing the phone to the
That's a little cousin
son.
that. So can you please?
Where is the 3-month-old baby?
the baby is on my mama's kitchen counter with his head smashed. Now I need you to please send me.
Okay, is it a male or female?
Know where my little cousin is at. Now if your little girl pop up with a weapon, I'm not gonna have a little cousin no more. So can you please? I know it's protocol. Can you please just send the police?
Okay, I need to know what happened to the baby.
I don't know what happened to the baby. I came into the house. She told me. Came into the house. The baby was on the counter. My mom was in the bed asleep. I woke my mom up and we calling you. That's all I know. I don't know nothing else. I have a little cousin. She was here. I don't know.
Okay. Listen to me.
Look.
Is the baby breathing?
Listen, lady. The baby is deceased.
Okay. All right, we're sending the police and an ambulance. Okay.
Baby is lacking a head.
Mama.
What is her name, sir?
Mama. Shush. Hello.
Mama,
What is your name?
I'm Robert Stewart.
Maybe.
And who is the mother of the child?
Huh?
Who is the mother?
Deasia. What is Deasia's last name? Watkins.
Is she there right now?
It's his cousin.
I don't know where she's at. That's the problem. I don't know where this little girl is at.
She could jump out of the closet behind me.
I don't even know if she's in this house.
He's freaked out, man.
Yeah, he is.
I don't want to look for her. I don't want to look for her. Would you please?
I don't blame
send
him.
the police.
Listen to me, sir. We already have the run started, okay?
Yeah. Duh.
All right.
So no one has any idea what happened to the child.
Listen, lady. I cannot explain to you what happened because I do not know. Nobody knows. It happened sometime in the middle of the night.
Okay. What do you see when you look at the child?
Look, lady. I don't want to describe the scene. This experience is very, very bad. All right. The little baby head is open, open. I'm not going in there to touch nothing because I don't want to mess nothing up. I'm not going in there to look because I already seen it. But it's not. It's very violent. It's a very violent scene. All right. It's very violent.
All right, sir. We have the police, the fire department responding out.
Can you imagine that?
No.
That's just like I feel bad for that guy. I mean, everybody involved, but. I don't blame him. He's like, look, listen, lady, I went in there once and that was my mistake.
That was a very real reaction, right?
Yeah.
How you could say, like, oh my God, I don't know where she is. I want to get out of here.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know where she is. I don't know what her last name is. I just want to be gone.
Look for her.
Fuck. That's just unbelievable. Yeah. Like I said, and she stabbed that baby 15 times and then put the knife in its hand. Like,
I'll make it look like a suicide.
Is that what the deal is?
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Or self-defense. That baby was coming at me.
That's all I could do.
Look at the size of the knife in that baby's hand.
That's a self-defense.
What'd you want me to do?
That's
that little son of a bitch.
Oh my God. They said she's like a zombie. They took her into custody, and Watkins is like a zombie. They said
did in fact turn out to be her name.
Yes. Yeah, they got it right.
Her cousin,
second try.
Her cousin was and aunt were correct on that.
His mom was correct when she went, Watkins. Watkins.
Watkins.
So apparently it was Watkins, and Watkins, she's like a zombie. We're hoping to get some medication so she can begin talking. Until she gets in front of some doctors and talks, it's going to be very difficult to know what her motivation was. Clearly self-defense.
Dude, right. Both of those stories, a lot of times you look at these stories and you go, oh, okay, insanity. Yeah, the insanity plea.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Is there any better case for...
Yeah.
I mean,
is it, like, I know people talk about postpartum.
Yeah, that could...
And I'm inclined to just say, get over it. Like, that's my initial
it's hard
reaction.
to understand, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just think that the get over it thing would work on most people, right?
Yeah, I guess it didn't work when she's seeing demons and stuff. That might be too serious. I don't know.
They said that Watkins was forbidden to have contact with the child after she was hospitalized with psychiatric problems, but the aunt apparently let her move in.
In all her wisdom.
Yeah. Why would you? James Brown was the baby's father.
Oh.
Hot tub. Yeah.
The Godfather himself.
I thought he was dead. Who knew? They believe he's the father. They believe he's the father. He'd been dating Watkins 2 years, but about a month after the birth of the child, she just started acting different, acting crazy lately, speaking to demons. So he's like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
Leaves his child with her.
Yeah.
She's speaking to demons. I'm out.
They were called the first time January 24th. and one of the neighbors. Remember we heard that the baby was crying and the woman was screaming.
Yeah.
Remember that part of the story? Yeah, there's not a ton, but a little more detail on that. The neighbor tells the dispatcher there's an infant screaming and the mom's yelling at the baby, telling it to shut up. It's been going on over an hour. You imagine? Like,
I mean,
who do you fault in that situation? Do you? I mean,
the aunt.
The baby's supposed to listen to your mother, though. I mean, if the mom's telling you to shut up for an hour,
the baby at 3 months old though doesn't know English yet.
Oh, is that the problem?
Got to give it a break.
Oh, so you're saying it's a language thing?
It's a language thing.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Language barriers are tough. We've run into that before every time we have an Asian story, right? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
That's the problem.
That Watkins was calling this friend, Chris Gully, was also at the apartment at the time. That was when the lady passed out, eyes open and all that shit. Chris Gully was also at the apartment at the time, and Watkins was calling him and Brown the devil. You're both the devil.
Yeah, what the hell is this aunt thinking?
I don't know.
At best, she feels bad for her niece because her niece doesn't have any place to go or stay.
Yeah.
But dude.
Yeah.
She's talking to demons.
Yeah. And you've got a 2-month-old, 3-month-old that clearly doesn't know how to defend itself yet. I mean, that's evident by the.
Well, we don't know. I mean, the crime scene speaks for itself, Mike.
Yeah. I mean,
it was holding a knife. Was it a girl? Boy?
It was a girl.
She was holding a knife.
Yeah, she was holding a knife, Forgetting that part.
I didn't forget
I think that's an undisputed fact.
It is. So she kept saying we were sinning so much. We didn't realize we were sinning. We need to come to the light and see what God wanted us to do and all that. Doctors declared her unsafe around the child unless she took medication. Well, that's good. Put it on her to take her medication because we know crazy people do what they're told, right? It seems logical. Let her move back in. So I don't know who you blame. I blame the aunt for this, and the aunt, unfortunately, is going to have to live with that visual for the remainder of time. That should be easy, right? God, are those brutal. What is that?
Oh, Jesus, that was my phone.
Oh, well.
Nice, E.
How many years in the business?
Is that Dawn calling?
That's 13 years in the business right there, folks.
I don't know how. I'm going to be honest.
Prepared for the show.
What was that ring, by the way?
Yeah.
Look, here's the deal. I don't know how to control. Like, I always have my phone on silence for everything, but randomly once in a while, I'll hit a button that turns like email. If I get email it. So there's one of my apps that I have.
Into the mic.
One of these apps I have is done. It's not around anymore. And for the last 3 days, it will send me 5 texts in a row saying that it's done. And it does that. I don't do that when I get text. I don't do that when I get anything else. But ding!
That's some interesting detail. Thank you for that.
I don't know what to tell you.
You don't know how to turn your notifications off for that particular app. That's great.
I'm trying to get rid of it, but I don't know how to. How do you get your screen to go where those X's go? Show me later, I guess.
Hold it down.
I know I do that, and then
not that.
Which one?
Let me see it.
No.
I'll just show you.
Is this really happening
I'll
right
show
now?
you.
Oh my God.
Me later.
This is happening right now.
Show me later.
Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. How long have you had an iPhone? 10 years?
2.
Ugh.
How long you been in the business? 13?
Yep.
It's 14 now. I've been saying 13 for a year.
You have. He's over 31 years old now.
It has nothing to do with being in the business. My phone is on silent except one thing. So I don't know, and I don't even know why that app does. Like, I've never had any app remind me about stuff and ding like that. It's
good, Gotti. Did you hear about this UVA student?
Yeah, beat up pretty bad, or something happened to him.
Something happened to him, man. He got slammed on the ground. You ever heard of the ABCs? I mean, I know you've heard of the ABCs, but the Virginia, and this probably goes on everywhere. Alcoholic beverage control cops.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Those
assuming
ABC store, like, right? Because there's like in dry counties down in the South, there's a lot of dry counties, but you can still buy liquor at these stores, and they're ABC stores.
Well, this is the authorities.
Okay, well,
so these are cops. I'm assuming they're on campuses.
Okay.
That's where they are in Virginia. They're
doling
on
out MIPs the whole time and shit.
Yeah, going to bars and that are having troubles, which was going on here. The Governor McAuliffe has gotten involved, and among others, for this arrest of a University of Virginia student early Wednesday morning. Early, like midnight, 1 in the morning. The incident happened in front of an Irish pub. A picture taken from the crowd shows a man on the ground with a bloodied face. An email was signed by the concerned black students. It was a black kid.
Oh, an Irish lad out for a little St. Patty's Day festivity.
For a
Yes. So anyway, have you seen the video of it?
No.
I
I saw a still shot of him, just his face all wrecked.
See if you can find a video, Kadog. Because everybody, it's one of those where everybody's yelling.
Portrait, of course.
Yeah, I think it is actually. He seems like a nice kid. He's involved with the.
Being serious?
No, yeah. No, I am. Who got drunk? He got drunk as shit. He was denied entrance into a bar, and these cops are patrolling these, you know, like they would in East Lansing, going down the hot spots for the bars, and they're just making sure. And they see this kid get denied entrance into this bar,
So they inquire.
Query, yeah, and that's where things went south. His name is Martise Johnson. The cop who talked to him first is a guy named Jay Miller. On charge, they got him on charges of obstructing justice and profane swearing and intoxication in public. He wrote the defendant was very agitated and belligerent, but no previous criminal history. Do you have it there? Yeah, working on it. Okay. So I don't know what to make of this, but I think it's funny. Like, shows what a hot button topic this is, that you get these responses where a statement was issued by the ABC patrol guys, and they go through and say what they did. And then there's this email from concerned black students to the university. Martise Johnson emerged with a head injury requiring 10 stitches. He was brutalized by law enforcement outside the Irish pub. His face was bloody. His body was bruised. A bunch of university students bore witness to the officer's animalistic, insensitive, and brute handling of Martise. He was left with blood splattered on the pavement.
Bore witness. I like that.
Yeah, he was bore witness. Today, we were reminded of the gruesome reality that we are not immune to injustice. As university students, we are not impervious to the brutality
I like it.
that is reeled on news cycles around the country. We have marched and shouted that we are Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, but the proximity of this morning's brutality to a member of our community has deepened that wound. It is no longer happening only on national television. It is the reality here and now. People just under attack. After he was denied entry to the bar, he found himself suddenly flung to the ground. So that's what it was. He's denied entry to the bar, and then the cops just walked up and flung him to the ground on his face.
Hey, partner, we're looking for somebody to just fling to the ground. Do you see anybody?
The brutish force used resulted in head and bodily injuries. His treatment was unprovoked, as he did not resist questioning or arrest. He yelled out for mercy. For some reason, I think there's two sides to every story. I'm not saying they didn't overreact. I'm not saying, but it goes back to that whole idea of, was this kid really targeted because he was black? Because that would be racism to me. Or was he just a drunken, sloppy fool outside of a bar that police got into a confrontation with?
Like countless others before him.
Like all of us at some point or another. And all of a sudden he decides in a drunken state, because you hear him talk and you can tell he's an educated kid. You can tell he's a good kid. He's involved in a lot of community things. But there's a lot of people like that, but you get shit-faced and all of a sudden you turn into a fucking monster sometimes. And we've all done that.
The piper.
And you get like that, and this angel of a kid is yelling, fuck you on the ground. And it's like, okay, so, that's what alcohol does. We've all been there. Go ahead.
The Urban League report finds the biggest problem facing African Americans is not their treatment by police.
Go out the way, dog. Hey, his head is bleeding. Yo, his head is bleeding.
It's really hard to see what's going on other than a guy on the ground.
Yeah, at this point, he's just on the ground.
Two cops on him. He's lying prone.
Mm-hmm. Yo, that's not even regular police. That's ABC. Are you serious? Yo,
It's all these drunk assholes at the bar.
Dude jumping in front of the camera like, woo!
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I'm socially conscious. What's going on?
What?
Wait, give me your phone.
First off, let's do this in landscape.
We gotta film this.
I go to UVA. I go to UVA, you fucking racist.
Is he supine at this point?
He's supine, calling him fucking racist.
How did this happen? How did this happen? You racist?
Yo, these
How did this happen?
they were just like, yo, what
You got fucked up.
How did this happen? You fucking racist. You fucking racist. Yo, was that necessary, yo?
There you go. So, I don't know.
Got to know more facts, dude.
Yeah, you do.
It's like many of these stories.
But they're demanding there be swift justice. Nobody wants justice. Nobody cares what the facts are. This goes right back to any one of these high-profile stories. They just want. I don't know what they want. I don't know what is the want. Do you want them to admit that they've done something wrong, that they are using too much force? What is the
end game
demand? Yeah, what's the end game demand you're making? And then this is the part that's funny. The governor's office released a statement about this.
Is this Terry McAuliffe, the former Democratic National Committee guy?
I thought it was a woman. I could be wrong about that.
All right, whatever. Sorry.
That's okay. The University of Virginia Police made a statement. Charlottesville Police made a statement. Terry McAuliffe's office made a statement. There's a statement from the Attorney General about this. University of Virginia President Teresa Sullivan.
Well, they must all
statement.
know the facts that happened just prior to this then, right?
Yes.
All of these parties making statements.
Yeah. There's a statement from Marcus Martin, the UVA Vice President for Diversity and Equality. And there's a statement from Maurice Apri, the Dean of African American Affairs.
Which one of them says, we must learn the facts?
Yeah,
we
none
must
of
know
them
exactly
say
what happened. No.
It's amazing how many of them weren't there, but already know the facts, because in every one of their statements, they list exactly what the facts of the case are from their perspective, which they weren't there for. They have as much know into the story as you and I do. The Black Student Alliance statement, a statement from the attorneys representing Maurice Johnson. Dude, we've got 20 statements from people, and basically what you've got here is a kid got fucked up at a school, belligerent with a cop, and they threw him down on the ground. And all of a sudden, we've got statements from the governor of Virginia's office. Doesn't seem like a bit of overkill. And it has to be racists. It's all racists. You're all racists, fucking racists. I think you're throwing around the race card too much. Kids get fucked up on colleges' campuses all the time, every night of the week. And guess what? They get arrested. They get thrown down on the ground.
When you're drunk as shit, you lose your balance and you hit your head on the ground sometimes.
And I'm not saying that they didn't throw them down with too much force or they didn't do something. But if you're on the pavement and you are resist in any way, they're going to throw you down on the ground, right or wrong. It's the way it is, unless we decide that we're going to change the rules on how they do things.
I need to know more facts here, Mike.
No, you don't.
I can't take a side.
Can we release a statement?
It might have been racist. I don't know.
Can we release a statement based on what we know at this point?
This might have been racist. I need to reserve judgment.
Judgment reserved! Jesus! Shit.
You broke it! It took 2 weeks.
Oh my God!
The crown has broken the unbreakable mallet.
Holy fuck, the biggest one!
That could have taken my eye out, you son of a bitch.
I thought something fell from the ceiling. Yeah, I took a chunk out of her.
Wow.
Shit. Look at the splinters all over your important documents. Look at that.
Man. Woo!
That feel good. It felt good, didn't it?
I'm frankly shocked that the handle didn't break soon. So I thought that this thing would crack right at the base. But instead, I took out a chunk of the actual mallet portion. She's got character now. All right. She's got a story.
Used mallet. She does. She was beaten. Brute force. Please let me know when we can release a statement. Because I'd like to get included in this group that's releasing statements. Make it 31 statements.
No, we need some facts. To the Astronome file.
Can we just start demanding that everything's not racist?
Well, I think we need to maybe assume that it's not until shown that it is. I think that's probably a good practice.
Did you see the Astronome file, Jay?
It's the couch now.
He just whipped them into a pile of papers on the couch.
That other piece of paper on the couch right now is part of what we put in the Astronome file yesterday. He is using your couch now. Your love seat is the Astronome file.
Pooh's bed
is
the Astronome file.
They'll always be here, ready to go.
They will always be here. If I know anything about this house, they will always be here.
Dude, but the problem is the Astronome Files function is not that we should be able to get our hands back on that story.
It's so that you, Fukfase, actually do something with it.
And follow up on stuff. Do you know when the Pigman trial starts?
No, I don't.
God, I can't wait for that.
I know. But E, you should be all over that. You should be calling courthouses, demanding
It's
to
going to
know.
be the trial of the century, E.
You should.
I don't think it is. No
You
offense.
should be throwing out the Freedom of Information Act.
How can it not be? He's a pigman. He's a half man, half pig. He's about to be tried for murder.
Jay,
He's a Pigman, Jerry.
Jay, I'm on your side. I just don't think for some reason the national media isn't covering it as a Pigman case.
Well, that's our angle.
That's our coverage.
When
but
I-
Nobody covered the Lakes Minivan USA trial as Lakes Minivan USA, but we did.
right.
That's true.
Little different spin on things.
Very true.
Yeah,
They didn't even use that name for some reason.
we have to find out what happened to little buddy,
And
buddy,
his
and
naked, erect penis.
penis.
I
Did
just
she
really,
did
really
she pull
the-
out and expose her breast?
I will say I'm as excited as you, Jay, only because I want them to drag these slobs that he was sexting with in while at work. So I'm
You
hoping
remember-
they're.
Do you remember how pissed E got
I'm
when
still
he saw that
pissed.
there were like 6 chicks
Yes.
that the Pigman was
Yes.
banging? He's like, God damn it, the Pigman's getting more play
that
than
was
me.
back during his huge dry spell
Yeah,
where he was getting nothing. And then all of a sudden he turned this corner and he's
Yeah.
just,
That's
started-
not true. I'm still pissed about it. I still think it's bullshit. Maybe not.
inmates were getting more play than you.
Yes, everybody.
It was brutal. Racial Thursdays I mentioned earlier, and
Man, that last story could have gone with the Racial Thursdays.
yeah, race this.
Oh, I know.
everywhere.
I don't know what Racial Thursdays are.
Well, Racial
why don't
Thursdays,
you listen to the story?
little game in the Army. They play. The Army is investigating. Of course, you've got to investigate all allegations nowadays. You can't let some hijinks go between a unit of guys.
Hijinks.
Seriously,
Hijinks and hilarity.
that's what I would tag it as. But whatever, the Army is investigating allegations that a platoon of soldiers was given a free pass to use racial slurs against each other during what is known as Racial Thursdays. The soldiers belong to the 2nd Platoon C Company, 3rd Battalion, 21st Infantry Regiment. How about that for a title on your name tag?
Big business card.
The battalion belongs to the 25th Infantry Division's 1st Stryker Brigade Combat Team.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in Alaska. When I first got to my unit, someone said we should do Racial Thursdays because that's a tradition. It's something they made up where you can say any racist remark you want without any consequences. The sergeant said no, but the shit is still going on. The staff sergeant added, it's degrading to soldiers. We've had soldiers almost fight over the crap that's going on here.
Totally. I could see that.
How
Just
ridiculous.
so bad for morale.
But is it
about
is it
no-
really?
I mean, in a
Yes,
way, right.
here's the thing.
Your point is it's good to be open with each other. Like, I love that any of us can go, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. That's important to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's
But-
hugely important.
But the thing, dude,
But
the
we're
thing
not,
is it's
like,
going to be all. There's
Attacking
no one.
people based on, I mean, dude,
Here's-
it's undeniably such a hot button issue.
Right, but it's been going on for years. Here's my thought on this, and follow me on this, E, before you
Okay.
just shake it off. Here's what guys do. We've talked about how guys behave around each other. Guys are notorious for picking out flaws in each other or things about each other that make them
Now
different.
being black is a flaw?
Hang with me here.
Walter said being black is a flaw.
That's what he's saying.
See, that's what he said. You all heard him.
I'm saying you pick out some kid's got a hair lip, he becomes lips, and he's just lips forever. You love him like a brother.
Some
but
dude's an asshole. You call him K-Dog.
some guy's fat, you call him fat to his face every day.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do. There's one black guy in the battalion, it's the darky. There's a Mexican, it's this. But guys have
Hoseby.
done this Hoseby. Guys have done this forever, but in the scheme of things, these guys go to battle together. And are you telling me that like the
Are you telling me
racist
they're
part-
not doing that anyway? They're
Of
not
course they're-
nicknaming each other and
of
shit.
course
So
they
why
are.
is there an endorsed day where it's like anything goes? Just pull out the
Because
stops.
because they're late teens, early 20s guys. And that's what guys do. Guys are stupid like that. We all had I don't know if we had racial
But do you see how
Thursdays,
this, by officially endorsing this by a higher up, is a problem?
Well-
I completely agree. It's going to go on. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
They're going to bond in different ways. And I agree
Mhm.
with you. Fucking with each other is a huge way guys bond.
yeah, it's a huge way
the
guys
problem
bond.
is it's being endorsed.
It's not being endorsed. The sergeant told them no, but they do it anyways. And it's been going
that's
on
like,
for years.
yeah, he didn't order the code red. We all know how that went. You're goddamn right I did.
Jay, the thing to me would be is, for one, we all know, for one, there's not that many bad, what are black people really going to say to white people? You're going to have this, there's a difference to me between
Dude, it's
boys.
more offensive. You know, white people
Right.
don't really care when people rip on our race, and that's because we're the majority.
Well, and Jay,
And it can be, it's a freaking nerve
Well,
for people. It's an exposed nerve, and it's asking for trouble, man.
if it's turning to people just saying N-word this and N-word that.
I don't
and-
even think it's talking about
Thursday, I can
N-word.
say whatever the fuck I want.
No,
yeah,
but
it
they
is. It's
said
open to say
anything goes.
anything.
Anything goes, no
That's
judgment.
the story.
Well,
So what are
that's
they
the
saying
story, but
then?
I don't know. They don't say what they're saying. They're just looking into it. One guy was called a wetback, and they did say that. One of the guys said, and then Chen, some guy Chen,
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
he killed himself because of the.
See, it's just
but,
like Santiago. We've seen this movie. We've seen this movie.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You want me on that wall? You need me
Did
on
you
that
order
wall.
the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
Great movie, dude.
Racial Thursdays did take place in the same unit that Private Danny Chen belonged to.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
He committed suicide October 3rd, 2011, while deployed in Afghanistan.
Who did?
Danny Chen.
Ooh, me sorry, me no speaking Chinese.
That's what he was dealing with. And he killed himself because he was hazed over his Chinese ancestry.
I don't feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
He was called names while in training, then subjected to hazing after he was deployed to Afghanistan. I would argue they all went through hazing. And I would argue also that maybe, just maybe, Afghanistan had something to do with committing suicide, not being called whatever their hazing thing was. And by hazing, they would make him crawl 100 yards while guys threw rocks and
This
stuff
is
at
the
each other.
freaking movie. You've seen the movie.
I know.
Santiago was a weakling, dude.
Yes, he was.
So it's you take your victim as you find him. He's a guy who can't handle it, and you got to realize that.
8 guys were court-martialed and put on administrative punishment because of that. The command is very sensitive to these allegations and blah, blah, blah. One guy says, I was a Mexican. He was a soldier I'm pretty good friends with. He was getting picked on the whole entire day until we got off work. He's Latino. They were calling him wetback, border jumper, those kind of jokes. He would say some jokes back, but he got to the point where he wanted to stop. We had another soldier almost get into a fight. Guys had to step in and pull him apart.
Yeah, see,
fun, right?
it's one thing for stuff to arise, just boys being boys and having fun and natural every day.
Yeah.
But for it to be like, all right, it's Thursday, so dipshit that you have a conflict with anyway knows it's an exposed nerve to needle you on your race, and so he's, hey, it's Thursday, fuck you, I can say whatever, and then you can see why that would blow up.
Do you think this is different than, like, when you see Vietnam movies, you see like any movie, and there's always the stereotypical Mexican guy that's called some derogatory term. They've always got someone in those platoons in movies. You know what I'm saying? What?
I just thought, where are you going to this?
No, I'm just saying, do you think that's horrible? Like, these people were horrible racists that were doing that, where it's like, private wetback over here.
No,
blah, blah,
I
blah,
think
blah.
it's what you've described. It's a fraternity of guys who are getting
Who
along.
would kill for
Yes,
each other.
exactly.
And would take a bullet for them.
But my point is that stuff comes up in natural, everyday, getting to know you type stuff, experiencing shit with you, and you don't care if he calls you something back.
Right.
But it's this Thursday, open the floodgates and just
Yeah.
bury this guy with racial stuff. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's fair and correct.
I agree.
Shut up, E. No one cares what you think. Shut up.
Jay.
You know what? I would.
They say they encourage Racial Thursdays as a way to build morale and camaraderie.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just a bunch of racists that want to fucking say whatever they want.
Racists, really?
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think the
but-
racist is the guy that fucking turns his back on a
You know
platoon
what?
guy because he's black, not for joking around with his buddies.
I just don't believe that that's what it really is. I think guys mess with guys. I have a group of friends that we say that horrible shit to each other, but it comes naturally and it comes like organically. It doesn't come on this, oh, we just walk in and one day, and you're like, what is it? What's the first thing you do when you boot camp or whatever? You walk in and someone just says, oh, by the way, Thursdays is racist Thursdays, so say whatever you want.
That's not what they're talking about.
What are they talking about?
they're talking about guys on a unit that's already in a war zone, and one of the knuckleheads comes in and goes, yeah, we used to do racial. These are guys that know each other, that are a unit together, that fight together.
You know what?
They do know each other.
It's a unit, but you know what? I don't know how the Army works, but I don't think they choose where their unit is. It's not like where they all choose. Let's all gather and join the 115. So just because you're in those 115 by selection, possibly, what if you don't want it? What if you're not cool with me calling a fucking wetback, 24 times in a day or whatever?
Racist. Watch your language. We call you a retard every day, multiple times a day.
Yeah, well, I'm very thick-skinned, but
so are military guys.
Well,
I wish our Marine would call back, because I'd love to hear stories about what it's really like in those places. I imagine
that doesn't, two wrongs doesn't make it right. Just because it's what
happens.
Thank
you for that lesson, E. Thank you.
But just because it happens doesn't mean it's okay. Just to say that happens all the time, and just to say that movies back in the 50s, there was harshly derogatory people, doesn't mean that it's just okay now. Things change.
Things do change, but I think this has gone on forever, and I just don't think.
Right? Well, should we bring back slavery? That was going on for hundreds of years.
Yeah, we should. That's a good idea. Yeah,
well,
we should
that's
do
what you
that.
just said. It's been going on forever.
I just think there's a difference between throwing something into a racist category versus guys being guys fucking around with each other, which I think is way more likely going on in a scenario
that's
like this.
Fine.
And I think everybody's so goddamn sensitive to everything right now that we're getting into this world where we're picking apart people and things. I'm not necessarily just this story, but I hate the racism should be reserved for a very specific thing.
I get it, but man, you definitely got to see what they're really saying to me. Some of these few examples. What if some guys calling one guy and the friggin' N-word 20 times in a day, talking about cornfields? Was that okay because it's Racist Thursday? I mean,
maybe. I don't know what Racist Thursday's like. I've never been there.
I don't know. Whatever.
And they didn't give us many examples. I wish I could give you more.
Yeah,
but I can't. And then stories like this don't help. The NAACP, not the NCAA, but the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People are investigating a death of a black guy, 54 years old, hanging from a tree in Mississippi.
Jesus, fuck.
That doesn't sound good.
What year is this?
2015.
Dude.
Unfortunately. You know what? I just pray to God that this is a sensationalized headline and this guy took his own life, unfortunately. As awful as that sounds, it sounds way better than the alternative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You hear about a black guy in Mississippi hanging from a tree and it sounds terrible.
I got to be honest, if this is going to sound really bad maybe, but if you were a black guy and you were going to kill yourself already and you thought one last fuck you to white people, that'd be a great way to do it, man. Because
Absolutely.
You know that when you died, this is what would happen.
Light a cross and climb a tree and jump.
Dude, that'd be a pretty good plan.
Don't get any ideas, black people. That's not funny. Don't even get cute with this. Not funny. Really light the cross on the lawn and then jump.
Yeah.
No, if you were going to do it already, if you're going to take your own life, dude, that'd be a great way to fuck whitey, dude.
Yes, it would. The FBI is investigating the death of this guy. He was found hanging just this morning. Otis James Bird went missing March 2nd after his friend dropped him off at a casino 30 miles north from where his body was discovered. His family reported him missing on the 8th. 6 days later.
Jeez.
Slow down.
Seems a bit
he's my man. Dude, he's prone to wander.
I guess. If you know somebody that, if you have a person like that you 6 days go by, I guess my sister, though I don't talk to her every day.
It depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on how this life situation. But if it were like, your wife, Gab.
She doesn't report Jay for 6 days.
Right.
I would think after maybe a day, you might feel like, wow, is John coming back?
I would think if Jay didn't get home by 2:30, she'd start at least making some phone calls.
For sure.
The NAACP was the first to identify Bird. How does that happen? Officials still haven't officially identified him. They haven't yet confirmed his identity, but local authorities were searching for the missing man when they found the body.
Excuse you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's okay.
Why would you say thank you to that?
Why would you say excuse you?
I wanted the listeners to know that
we
don't condone that sort of
we don't.
Just burping on air during
this
readings.
is abhorrent behavior on a microphone.
There's going to be an apology coming.
He was found 200 yards from his home. A spokesman for the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Are they the ones that are commenting on a human hanging from a tree? The Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks.
That doesn't
sound good either.
Is that to suggest that it's
that they found an
subhuman?
animal? They found an animal in the woods hanging from a tree, so the wildlife department's getting involved. That doesn't sound good at all.
Parks and Rec is
Yeah, send the parks guys out there. I don't know. What color was he? Yeah, send the parks guys out there. Send the fishery guys. They can handle it. The body had obvious signs of decay, suggesting it had been hanging there for at least a day. So far, they say it's too early to determine his death, whether it was a homicide or suicide. The NAACP is petitioning to have the Department of Justice involved in the investigation. They fear, of course, that it was a hate crime. Bird, peach of a fella, though. Sounds like he had all things, all arrows pointing upward for my man, Otis. He spent 25 years in prison for the murder of Lucille Trim. Yeah, he robbed Trim of $101 and then killed her. He was convicted of capital murder in 1980. He was paroled in 06.
I wonder if before doing they said, I'm going to get me some trim. I don't know,
Maybe.
just speculating.
It'd be nice to know that. I don't know if he's ever admitted that, but yeah.
Certainly,
nice to know.
Certainly could have.
Why don't we take a quick timeout, and then we'll tell you about a toy. You'll remember the name.
Ronk.
My man Ronk. Yeah, Ronk got sentenced. Oof. I don't know what else she did. She clearly did something wrong.
She got hammered.
She got hammered.
Oh, yeah, she did.
We'll discuss next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Friday with Mike and Jay. And we got a few stories yet to go, of course. But we've been sitting on this for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, this came to our attention kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah. And we're talking about K-Dog, who's sitting in the captain's chair right now.
He's an
K-Dog.
asshole.
He is an asshole, always will be. But there are weird stories about K-Dog that keep coming up. Like,
he's a bit of an onion himself.
He is. Not like E. He's a different kind of onion.
Right, but he'll walk in the room, grab a Rubik's Cube, and just go, done.
Do it.
Like, oh, okay, another thing about K-Dog we didn't know.
Yeah.
He's a savant.
Yeah.
Comes down, plays pinball, just crushes it. Just weird little details about K-Dog.
Yeah. And we learned, and it's the weird thing is they're all kind of like, yeah, whatever moments. They're not like, it's just like in passing.
Yeah, it's not like,
that's
hey,
normal.
bitches, look, I did the Rubik's Cube, or check out my score on pinball. It's just,
it's weird the way it is, because we'll be talking about some actors or something, and he'll just slip in there like, oh yeah, when I was on this TV show, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, wait
hold on, back up.
Slow down. Slow down. When you were in a TV show, yeah. You're like, okay. We need to know more about this TV show. So K-Dog fancies himself as quite the little actor.
I wouldn't go that far.
He prefers thespian.
Yeah.
Oh, thespian, excuse me. So you played a gay guy in a role, which is fitting.
Yeah, actually twice. You want to talk about people getting typecast.
Yeah.
For a long time, it was either drug person, like
I can see
I'm
that.
skinny, and then gay. I don't know why.
What was the gay role you played?
The one that was the TV show, I was a flight attendant named Ramon.
Where was it? Was this a pilot? Was this a?
It was a. They shot an entire season of it because they were trying to shop it around and get somebody to actually pick it up.
Yeah.
And I think we shot like 10 episodes altogether.
And where can we get them?
You can't get them anywhere, unfortunately.
Did it ever get released?
No, nobody ended up picking it up, and unfortunately,
How
because
bad
of the way
must that
it
have
worked,
been?
it wasn't bad. I thought it was halfway decent. A couple episodes, somewhere
Yeah.
a little not so great, but
Did Ramon have much FaceTime?
yeah, a lot, because it basically revolved around 4 characters, and Ramon was one of them.
Yeah. Did you ever have to make out with a guy or anything?
I did not.
No, oh, that's too bad.
What did you do to indicate that your character was gay?
Just flamboyance, talking with a lisp.
Let's hear the voice.
Now it's tricky because, like if I didn't do anything special, you would say, oh, that's Eric. That's like,
Yeah.
just talks like that.
You could pass as a gay guy.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, I was always talking like this, and I would do a lot of different things with my hair. It was very festive all the time.
Just going totally stereotypical gay guy.
Well, it was a sitcom, so
Seriously?
they just wanted you to play everything up and just take it over the top. It was like, if you weren't fabulous on the screen, it was just like foul. You just had to be awesome at all moments.
What was your boyfriend's name?
He actually didn't have a boyfriend. He was always just hitting on all the different people that were coming through the airport.
Gotcha. And then he reveals.
Wait, I got a question.
Yeah.
Did you? So obviously, if it got picked up, you would have been on it and got paid more. But like, what did you get paid just to film it? Was it just like, is it like minimum wage, or is it just like
minimum wage?
Well, no, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, it was basically gas money to and from the set. Although I had a great contract, if it ever would have got picked up, I would have got SAG
a lot
scale.
of points
Yeah.
on the back end. no, that's not.
Yeah, it was filmed on promises.
Yeah,
well, that's
which
how
when
those
you're
work, pretty
when
much,
you're
right?
trying to become something, I mean,
Yeah.
we know what that's like right now. You're building something with the hopes that it does more, and so I get that. Then you were talking about a movie you did, and this is because of the Michigan. They're filming a ton of shit here. Batman, the new Batman, Superman was filmed here. Wizard of Oz was filmed
You name
here.
it, man. The
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood thing a few years back.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, tons.
Yeah, they had all those
Transformers,
incentives.
all that shit.
Yeah, the movie incentives, the tax breaks. So you did a movie. What was the name of it? It was a horror flick.
Yeah, it was called Born of Earth.
Born of Earth. Everybody saw that, right? Y'all big fans of Born
And
of
again,
Earth?
this just gets dropped out of nowhere, just during a regular conversation. K-Dog's just like, oh yeah, that horror movie I did. Like, hold on, back up. Horror movie?
This came about because obviously you guys wanted to see the footage of the gay flight attendant, and I don't have it. So in order to give you something to prove my, statements that I was actually in films, this was the best I could do, because this actually had a release. You can buy it on DVD on Amazon and stuff like that. Not that I recommend that.
Let me see the box.
Do you have any points on this or no?
The cover art is sweet.
I do not get anything if they start selling more copies of it.
If all of a sudden it just became a cult classic, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Born of Earth, Evil is Rising.
You can
One of the Baldwins is in it, right?
Yeah, Daniel Baldwin's in it. And James Russo and Brad Dourif.
Yeah, he was the voice of Chucky in Child's Play, so that's what you might have heard him.
Okay. But K-Dog has 2 scenes in this movie, and he plays a boyfriend to a chick. He's got a girlfriend. I noticed you're wearing eyeliner in it. Did they apply that to you? Did you go to makeup?
Yeah, makeup did that for
Makeup
me.
did that for you?
Fake piercings, tattoo sleeves, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Can we watch it? No, can we pop this up on, so if anybody's watching this on YouTube right now, they can also see this, and let's watch K-Dog's scenes and see how he does.
Do you want to set the scene for us real quick, or is it self-explanatory?
It's self-explanatory.
Jay, what an asshole, because Jay's seen them, so he knows that they are.
No, that's a fair question. You're bringing a girlfriend home, right? And the mom doesn't like you or something?
That's correct.
He plays an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
talk about typecast.
Not
K-Dog as
not
himself.
a stretch at all. On that
Yeah.
one.
Blue sky, beautiful blue sky.
This is great, dude.
There he is.
Okay. Me too. So Haley, Jimmy's having a party this Saturday, and I was wondering if you'd like to come with me.
Dude, what a move! She doesn't even say yes. By the way, you just say.
K-Dog's macking. Look at him
making out with a chick. She's kind of cute.
She actually is.
Haley, get in the house right now. Now.
K-Dog with a shaved head.
How long ago was this?
Yeah, I think it was like 2008. So it's quite a while.
Oh, he gets one more in. Look at him. He goes back for more.
Oh man, we tapping that later.
Kind of like a big screw you, mom.
She doesn't have a great ass though.
It's a sweet car.
Home, Kevin.
Yeah, 71 Pinto with a 351 in it.
71 Pinto.
And this
awesome.
is me.
I was
This
just
is
gonna
me.
say, I asked them. I wonder if he did this or not.
I was pissed that they cut away right there because this was all one shot.
He just peeled out.
So you didn't sit there or pause. You just backed out and boom.
Yeah, it was all one. And then I was actually really pissed. I was like, oh, we got to do that again because there was a PA in the street and I almost ran him over. I'm like, why is he so close? He needs to be way down the street because I can
director K-Dog.
I know, K-Dog stepping in. We got to redo the shot.
I thought I could do a better burnout. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was pretty weak as far as burnouts go.
Who was this chick, by the way?
That girl right there.
Yeah, the one you were making out with.
Yeah, Shannon Zeller is her name. She's actually done a few things. I know Seraphim Falls was one of them. It was like a Western, and I think Pierce Brosnan was in it, and she had a decent role in that. So,
Yeah.
I thought she might go on to do some other stuff. I haven't checked her IMDb in a while, but
Yeah.
I thought she would do things,
She a
but
good
I don't think
kisser?
she did. I don't really remember that well.
It looked to me like K-Dog went in with mouth agape.
Yeah,
and
and
she
got-
kind of met him with mouth closed.
Yeah, you should check. Wait, maybe we should go back to the kiss.
Yeah, let's go back to the
I
kiss
agree.
real quick. You'll see that there's, I think, a difference in opinion here.
Maybe you mean she
a little different approach.
It's one of those weird things, though. You have to talk about that like ahead of time, and it was discussed and what exactly.
So you
was all
warned
gonna
her
work
that
out.
I'd come mouth agape.
No, I was like, how comfortable are you in all of this? And we had to like figure all that shit out ahead of time.
K-Dog got hard in his seat.
Did you create a backstory for yourself, your character, to get into character?
I didn't, but I remember she did have like all this paperwork and stuff.
Really?
She had a big backstory.
So here we go.
Gonna go to the party.
Saturday.
Big party Saturday.
I'm coming in.
No, see, she's moving in.
See, K-Dog.
No, that's a weak kiss.
I
That's a
don't
weak
know.
kiss. She did not want to kiss
Yeah.
K-Dog.
I
Don't blame her. He's an asshole.
No, she was getting paid. She was cool with it.
Get in the house.
It didn't look so
right
bad.
now.
The second, that first one maybe a little, but the second one looked pretty all right.
He's like, whoa, wait, hold on. I need
on.
I'm
one
telling you, I
more.
think she looks really cute, but to me, this one scene to me, her ass, I don't know, her ass.
Here he goes again.
Wow.
Look at him go.
How many takes
Watch
was
her-
that?
Jay, watch her ass when she gets out
I
here.
think we did 2 or 3 takes. So the first time she pulled my
Look at
lip
that.
piercing.
Yeah.
out.
Ooh,
sagging a little bit, isn't it? Like the G, like she's wearing like the what were those, the hip huggers? But there's nothing there.
Hold on, I want to see Kadog peel out.
Well, as we noted, where's the PA?
I've seen Kadog leave driveways many times. Here
What
he
a
comes.
punk. And
Try
the
not to
brakes
hit
are
a
on.
PA.
You hit the brakes there.
Yeah, because that fucker's in the road.
Yeah, you're right, dude. He hit the
He
brakes.
hit the brakes.
Should have
Yeah.
done that again.
peeling out.
Yeah, I would have had words with the director.
I did, and they're like, "Oh, it's fine. It looked good. It'll play well on
Did you
screen."
really say
I
something
did.
to the director?
That was the last shot of that last day of filming, and they're like, "Nope, we got it. Wrap it up." And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, let's do one more." And they're like, "No, we got it."
Wow.
Did you bang this chick?
That chick? No, I
You
didn't bang
didn't?
another on this set.
Why? Oh, but you
On
did
that
another
set.
set. Oh, when you were playing
Ramon.
Ramon was getting some. Were you getting
What was
deep
his
into
name?
character?
I tell you what, gay guys get a lot of chicks. There's something to that.
So did you get some play on the set with the gay Ramon? You did, didn't
But you
son of
weren't
a
gay
bitch?
though, so why would it? I don't understand.
It's like a trust thing. They just let the gay guy in because he's
Gay
not
men
a
are the best
sexual
friends to
object
have.
to them. Yeah.
And then you can always
You don't
play.
want anything from them. They don't want anything
Yeah.
from you. That's the old Eddie
Well,
Murphy bit.
And the
And
trick is I'm not really gay, so you brought me
play-
into your inner
a
circle,
win-win.
and now
Well,
you're
you-
screwed.
Well, don't you play the
Literally.
role of like,
Figuratively.
oh, I've always had this one little wonder if maybe I'm not gay or right? That's the deal.
I think women think it's a challenge to turn you straight. They're like, you know what? My vagina's so good.
There you go.
I'll turn you
They're
off
right.
a dick for your life.
What's the next scene? You got one other scene in here.
And we didn't watch the whole movie here, so I don't know. So
Nobody
obviously I don't
has.
know- I
Yeah,
don't
give
know.
us a basic plot line
Well,
here,
no-
Kadog.
well, no, what I
are
was
these
gonna-
aliens who come or just demons? What are they?
They're like creatures that live in the earth.
Well, my
then they
question
come
was,
back.
if you were her boyfriend, how big of a role was she that you were only in the 2 scenes?
Oh, it was a very small role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here comes Kadog.
Coming home.
Kadog's about to get killed.
Hey, turn that crap down.
Spoiler
My brother
alert.
lives in this house. Grateful punk.
He happens upon something amiss in the living room.
Was Monster a big product placement in this thing, by the way?
That was actually Rockstar.
Oh, was
yeah.
it Rockstar?
Yeah, they paid money for
They were all drinking it. And that,
Oh, 2 little demon guys just chowing on his dad. One drops from the ceiling and takes out Kadog.
Yeah,
because we only watched 2 scenes, yours and this one. And in the one, the girl pulls out an energy drink, and in this one, the same thing. So clearly they paid some money.
Yeah.
Good eye.
So that was your death scene. Don't you wish they would have filmed the death scene though? They just show you that it's implied there's a demon on the ceiling that drops onto you.
Yeah, but it leaves a lot open because I've always talked about
there could be
going
a
back,
sequel.
and I could
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Yeah, what if it didn't technically
Kadog wins.
Have you ever watched this all the way through?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
And there was a theater premiere, and I want to say it was the Imagine Theater in Novi. So I was
Really?
out there for that. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it was a big deal at the time.
It was
No,
huge.
no, you know what? No, it totally would be though.
It's like
dude.
a real movie.
It
There's
totally,
a box. I mean, that counts, right?
Yeah.
Well, how old you
That's
say it
your
was
box.
2008? So
Yeah.
how old would you have been?
25.
So when you're man, if I was 25, dude, I mean, you knew it wasn't big movie, but man, dude, if I was 25 and he said there was gonna be a premiere at Waterford or Imagine and
You'd
Novi,
be there in your powder blue tux for sure.
fuck,
you know.
dude, that'd be a big deal
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm trying to see.
So did you negotiate in the fact that you weren't seen eaten so that you could have this opportunity to come back? I could see you doing that.
Yeah. At the end.
Look, I'll play the role. I'll play the role of Kevin, but
There
I
needs
want
to
it
be
to be ambiguous as to whether I die or not.
Yeah, Born of Earth 2. That's the story of the boyfriend.
The story of Kevin of all things. His
Yeah.
name's Kevin.
Well, his name was supposed to be Hayes. And
Hayes?
Yeah, because I guess it's based upon a real guy who was actually a douchebag, and then they were concerned that the real Hayes would find out that they were using his actual name. So somewhere there's this douchebag Hayes. Hopefully he's not listening.
That's so funny how that works. Because remember, when Nate was in here the other day, he referenced that he based a lot of the character on that show on this friend he knows that's very similar, but he says
Yeah.
he won't say the name.
Yeah.
Don't you think that probably happens a lot when people write
Happens
scripts
all the time.
They write
Yeah,
about
of course.
stuff they know, so they use a
Yeah.
basis of something that. I mean, obviously, this
Totally.
is not a real.
Or they mix them.
Yeah.
They'll take make a character and do it around stories involving you and Derek and
Yeah.
Troy, whatever growing up.
blended
and
into one
blended
dude.
into one. Yeah. Turn it into a character. Well, that's pretty funny. Do you do any more of that stuff? Are you interested in doing more of that?
Yeah, I would love to do more, but it's been a couple years since I've done anything. I I did another short film like right at the end. It was like
We're
the
gonna
last
need to
thing
see
that I
that.
did. That I can actually get you, but it's like 20 minutes. It's all me. I'm like the star of this. I think I'm in all scenes except for one.
What do you play?
Just like a guy who's a photographer, and he's kind of like an introvert, little bit of a loser, and then he meets this girl who turns him all around and like shows him there's more to life.
Oh, it's like a
and,
romantic comedy.
without the comedy.
Was it supposed to be a comedy?
No, it's a serious grammatical piece.
Really?
Dramatical.
Did you get
Yeah.
paid for it?
Again, I was supposed to, but somehow I got screwed out of my money on that one. I got a big IOU
Is
and
that-
nothing.
Does that? I mean, I know you. I don't know how.
K-Dog's got a lot of
extensive-
favors to turn in, you know?
From
That's
your friends that you
hilarious.
have known, that I know you've known actors, but you trying to do it with this, I feel like you would have a lot of people like on a small circle that you've met. Is that a pretty big thing to do things like maybe not this big, but like your
Sure.
other thing?
Yeah,
but where they don't get paid, where it ends up you freaking
there's a
checks
lot of that
bounce.
going on. I mean, but you got to think about it. This isn't LA, New York, Chicago. This is a small market for that kind of stuff. So
Right.
you do a lot of work for free to try to
Yeah.
get your foot in the door and
Yeah.
build a resume. And then
Did you ever consider moving?
not really. I thought maybe about Chicago at one point in time to try to get into Second City because I was big into improv for a while. And I was,
You could get a SAG card from that.
I'm SAG eligible right now from
Yeah.
the TV show
What are
that
the
never
dues
came out.
per year, though?
Couple $1,000.
It depends on where you're at. And like if you get it in Michigan, then you move to LA, you have to pay the difference. So
Oh, so you're paying a Michigan version.
Here
of
it's
it.
Yeah.
like I think Trudy paid $2,000 a year to have SAG
yeah.
rights.
But then the problem with becoming SAG is once you're in the union, you can only work on union
Right,
productions,
right.
and,
Yeah.
and there's just not a lot of union work going
And
on here other than commercial work.
what's
And
Commercials, which most people do.
What's
Yeah.
the deal with SAG? Isn't the saying like that only 3% of people in SAG are actually working right? Isn't there some big deal about that?
Probably.
yeah,
I thought there was some statistic. I mean, the people are talking. I mean, it's like major money is going down. It's just in reality at any given time, it's not that many people working or something.
Yeah, I don't
have to
know.
look into it.
It's a pain in the ass to get in to begin with because in order to become a SAG member, you have to work on a union project. But
Yeah,
in order to
you
work
can't
on a
work on a
union
union
project,
project.
you need to be in SAG.
Total catch-22.
That's just like that's just like so many of those jobs, like a radio or like something like that, where it's like you're coming out of specs, and people are saying like,
You got a sweet voice, but
well,
that's
no,
about it.
no, but you're looking for jobs, and when I was looking for the Holland job,
Finish
every
your thought in
fucking-
your specs voice. Come on.
No.
Come on.
No. Everything that sits there says like looking for 2 years experience, and you're like, okay, well, how do you get experience without getting experience? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like
Yeah.
that. It's like
You
they're-
have to start just getting a foot in the door. That's all you're going to get out of specs is a foot in the door somewhere in an internship,
And a
Right.
sweet
and
new
then
voice.
make an impression.
I know, no, I know,
Somehow.
but I'm just saying it's like this weird thing when you're looking. When I was going through the freaking
The sweet voice.
or just fucking butt fuck your fucking best friend for 20 years.
You son of a bitch.
Become a lawyer,
You
then
son of a
then
bitch.
down the line.
He didn't have the pipes, but
Yeah, well,
he was a friend.
we
So
all
what are
got
you
in
going
there
to do?
some
We
way,
just
right?
had to bring him in,
Yeah, I came in and just leapfrogged my man over there. 13 years in the business.
It's my fault for
Hey,
going
we're
to
gonna move your
Vegas.
seat over here. We're going to take this mic away.
he goes to Vegas once.
I
And it
plan a
gets
Vegas
shoved
trip
over.
months before I know you, and then all of a sudden I come back.
And it's the Jay and Mike show.
I
It's
know.
crazy how that
It
works.
is.
Well, good job, K-Dog.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We should
good
try to
work,
get
man.
you more roles. That'd be funny.
Hell yeah. I want to see the 20-minute
I do
short, though.
too. I do too.
I'll get it for you guys.
We've got a judge who sent a message this
Nancy
week.
Grant from Oakland County.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Is she a
That doesn't surprise me.
really?
Yeah.
That's brutal. That's brutal. This poor woman. She says there's no room for double standards. An Oakland County judge, as you mentioned, sentenced a 30-year-old female Teacher of the Year candidate to spend 6 to 15 years.
Former Bishop Foley teacher, right?
Yeah, exactly.
6 to 15, dude.
In
That's
prison.
serious time.
In prison.
15-year-old, right? She had contact with?
Yep.
Contact.
Yes. She was banging a 15-year-old. Catherine Ronk.
And she pled guilty, too.
She pleaded down, which
Right.
is weird that she...
But what was it? Does it say what she pled
She
to?
pled guilty to 2 counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. Yeah, apparently that's a bigger deal than I thought. She could have been sentenced to as little as a year in jail, but as you mentioned, Nancy Grant opted for prison time. Noting the boy was 15 at the time, Grant was dismayed apparently by letters asking for leniency from this Ronk. So she's writing this judge begging for leniency.
Forgot to mention the victim.
Yeah, she didn't mention the boy. How much play would that have had?
The victim.
Yeah, I know.
It probably wouldn't have helped, but it's just something she noted. Like, oh, okay, this is something to hang my hat on a little bit.
Because she's smart enough to know, as we do, there's no such thing as a 15-year-old male victim in a sex case. I'm sorry, there just isn't.
Well, this Ronk had a big lawyer too. She had James Thomas, a former Kwame lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, do you remember Ronk wasn't the
Ronk was the black-haired girl.
No, but that wasn't the.
No, that wasn't the.
Okay.
Candy. It's right here.
I'm just trying to remember who that was.
No, Ronk is a pretty good-looking chick. She
pull
looked,
up a picture.
She looks pretty good in
Catherine
some
Ronk.
pictures.
Yeah.
others
Okay.
not so
Yeah,
good.
I remember now.
Bunch of her Facebook photos got thrown up.
Party animal.
Yeah,
Dude,
partying big time.
But if you're a 15-year-old boy,
I should show you this. By the way, this was in the Milford Times this week, and it was just some article about some bullshit kindergarten teacher teaching kids to read or some stupid shit. But you look at her, dude, and she's a 20-something teacher. She's wearing she's wearing to me clothes like the boots up to here, the jeans. I mean, what I see girls wearing to the mall, and she's a pretty cute girl. And it's just like, I know they're kindergarten in this one, but it's just this turnover of young, cute girls. So of course they're on Facebook. And of course, it's easy to get a hold of them.
So here's a Facebook picture of Ronk doing the international signal of cunnilingus.
Yep.
See that one?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Real nice to have this on your Facebook page as a teacher.
Dude, she's pretty.
Yeah.
I'd fuck her.
So what a 15-year-old. Nice titties.
And I don't think I'd be.
Some of them she doesn't look very good in, but you can tell she's just blasted drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, young girl.
This
I think
this
she's
one isn't too
newly married.
Flattering here, Jay. I mean, she looks
So
good, but
weird.
she just looks hammered too.
Yeah.
We've talked about this so many times. We just cannot figure out what's in it for them. What's in it for Ronk?
She could
She's
go to
just
any
a party
bar,
girl.
but
It's just
go to bars.
I
and pick
know,
up dick.
dude, but it's just this blurring of lines. It's the social media. It's she's young. She's in that
Still
party
trying to
scene.
feel-
She's got guys at school that are acting older than 15 and giving her the time of day and paying attention to her on texts and shit like that. And all of a sudden you have a couple glasses of wine and what the hell?
Can I go back to high
it's
school?
crazy. I know.
Jay,
I
for
know.
real. I mean, I need to learn anyway.
back.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Did
wants
you
to
go
go
the
back and
first
bang
time?
as if the teacher's going to put out for E.
Look at this guy over here. Probably graduated with a higher GPA than you.
Probably, what is that? Who cares?
I
I
don't
probably
know.
fuck more teachers than you. So what? The judge said to her, "You are dealing with children that are still developing emotionally. To have this continuing double standard is unacceptable. The law does not recognize a double standard. The law is clearly on point in terms that these children are developing human beings. This was a person in position of power and influence over him." Doesn't that almost sound like she's taking that out from other cases that she's felt were injustices? Where people got a slap on the wrist? That doesn't seem fair. You're supposed to be judged on what they haven't even said what she's done wrong in this. I still am trying to figure out what she's getting 15 possible years for. Did she rob somebody? Did she steal a car that she banged this kid in?
Dude,
Is that what the problem? I'm failing to see. I'm disconnected with where the problem was.
What's so funny about these to me, and I know I mentioned the other day when one of these came up, the idea of these kids going to counseling after, because think about it, in any other crime, rape or this or that, when there's a victim, the victim has they go through something. They go through therapy or this. And these kids, the idea of these kids sitting in therapy, just
talking about the greatest day of their life.
Their feelings that they're probably sitting there like, God, I wish she was still here.
I know.
Can I call her now?
That's my thought. Like, guys, it's important to note, and I think it's fair to note that guys at that age, when you're talking about 15 to 20 whatever year old guys, they're on the hunt. They're trying to break
Think back to that time, like probably 85% of your thoughts had to do with sex, if not more.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And the
idea you couldn't think about anything without sex being a part of it.
Yeah.
Everything
I mean,
everywhere you
I
went.
think they even say that males at that age think about sex every 20 seconds or something. There are like studies on that as stats, and I might be wrong about that, but I think it's something ridiculous, like every 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. Like I get it. If you've got males just by nature are predatory, that's just kind of there are cases of female predators that are kind of more male-like almost. But on the whole, through all of mankind, the males have been hunters and And that's what they do. They go after their prize. They go after a woman, and they're making the first move. So I get it. How if you've got a male teacher and authority, it is different, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I just really honestly believe that you could hurt a young girl that's, that maybe isn't thinking that way, and you seduce her in some way. But for a male 15-year-old, as guys who have been there before,
you should write your congressman and make this argument.
I should.
I'm sure the law needs to be changed. There needs to be a distinction between male and female.
I think you're being facetious.
No, if you feel this strongly, Mike.
Well, I just think it's not fair to act like
and also
there's
have
some victim.
Officially an award announced to the female.
Not
only do I want the female removed from the criminal statute,
this year's TOEIC runner-up,
like an award
Catherine
to go
Ronk.
to,
some sort of civic
sort of recognition.
Right.
We need to get does anyone out there, maybe the guy that makes mallets, can someone make us a TOEIC of the Year award, a Teacher of the Year candidate?
What would that look
award?
like, do you think? What would the award? A girl blowing a guy?
Blowing a prepubescent dong.
Gross.
No, just her smiling mugshot or whatever, their hottest, their proudest moment. I mean, but for the guys, the fact of the matter is these guys are not going to be going through life like devastated over this. I just fail to see that.
Yeah,
they're
not
just not. These guys are instant rock stars. You're the guy with that story you broke that wall. You are the one that banged Ronk. Pete, you banged Ronk. Fuck, high fives around. The kid's a legend.
And again,
he's a legend.
Yeah, we've said it before too. Not only with guys, but he's probably going to get more play from girls because then they're going to say, "Oh, they know exactly. They know he's been experienced with an older lady and knows what he's doing." Maybe.
Ronk also faces charges in Macomb County because some of the sex took place in the boys' Macomb Township home and in a car in Sterling Heights. Must have been a stolen car in Sterling Heights. That's all I can think.
Past curfew or some sort of weird old
that'll
law.
probably be dismissed. I can't imagine they're going to spend the time.
These aren't
going to
hold
more.
Right?
She's got 6
So
she gets 8 years or 6 to 15.
6 to 15. What do you think she'll do? 3 and something like that. I mean,
should be negative.
I know. Time served. She should get a raise.
Big misunderstanding.
A settlement out of court for her fees and time. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in our judges' chambers nowadays. We got in Europe. The crown has spoken. Look at that wig. Look at the wig on this son of a bitch.
Perfect, man. That is what I remember seeing when I was there, man. Look at that
so
thing.
Ridiculous. That's your wig.
Yeah.
That's your
my wig.
Here's your wig. You could be that son of a bitch. You could play him in a movie.
God, I don't want to.
You look like a lamb.
That's what they look like,
Look at that son of a bitch. Someone please get a picture of the Lord.
The crown.
Oh, Jesus.
Spoken.
The crown has spoken. 3 judges have been fired.
I just got a good picture of Jay.
Of the lamb. 3 judges have been fired.
Look at that, dude.
Can't see it through all your busted screen. Nice.
Let me see it. That could be our Facebook post page today. Or 3 of them were fired for watching porn on their
pornographic material. Outrageous.
On their what?
On their official IT accounts.
Of course.
Jay's talked about this bullshit before, where there are actually people in the business in the work environment
it's frowned upon
who cannot watch like porn on work time. That's
really
weird. That's I thought so. Is this just a European thing? Are they the ones that does the crown frown upon this? Apparently,
yeah. I think corporate America as well as corporate England apparently frowns upon it.
I've dabbled in corporate America, and I've never seen anything like that. It's outrageous. I'm going to write my counselor about this. That's what I'm going to do.
You're going to write your counselor about London or?
Well, about behaviors like this here. As soon as I find a good enough story, I'm writing my congressman. The porn was not illegal in content. The Lord Chancellor and the Lord Chief Justice concluded it was inexcusable misuse.
Inexcusable misuse! Jesus! Fuck! That's so obnoxious.
That is going to shatter and take my out. Look at all the shards all over the desk.
Well, I'm just going to wait for the day that desk is just going to fall
I know.
down.
I know. They called here, Jay.
Oh, is there a pronouncement of sorts?
Not really, but there's a couple. There's a couple things.
However, the Lord Chancellor and the Lord Chief Justice concluded it was inexcusable misuse of their official accounts and wholly unacceptable conduct for a judicial office holder.
Office holder. The Crown has spoken. Order.
The Crown has spoken. Order.
God damn it.
District Judge Timothy Bowles, Immigration Judge Warren Grant, District Judge and Recorder Peter Bullock have been removed from offices. Recorder Andrew Maw was also found to have viewed similar inappropriate material via his judicial IT account, and he quit. He finally was like, all right, fuck it. You fired those three. I'm out of here. And he took tenure and went into retirement. Today's announcement is unprecedented. It is exceptionally rare for a judge to be removed from offices. For 3 judges to be fired at the same time represents a serious blow to the reputation of the judiciary.
Probably politically motivated. They're probably from the party that whoever made the decision is opposite to.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, look at that porn, huh? You're out.
That's just, it seems a bit drastic. Had they done the same thing at home, there would have been little basis for dismissing them. This is purely a question of misconduct and misuse of judicial IT accounts paid for by the taxpayer. Should any of these 3 wish to challenge their dismissal, it would open up an interesting prospect of a former judge bringing a judicial review of the decision to remove them as a judge, which itself would be heard by a judge. That would get ugly.
Lots of jurists involved.
Judge Warren Grant said he'd been suffering from severe and undiagnosed depression at the time of the allegation. Well, we all know what fixes that, right? Viewing porn at work. The Mr. Grant issued this the following statement. The judge did.
Oh boy.
He said,
God, plug your ears, everybody.
Oh no.
I do not wish to comment, save to say, I love that, save to say, that for some years before and during the period covered by the conduct which formed the subject matter of the complaint laid against me, I was suffering from severe and undiagnosed depression. The Crown is spoken.
Oh my God.
You broke the other side.
Oh my God.
You son of a bitch.
That fucking flew all the way. Where is it?
I request that the privacy of my family and myself be respected so that we are allowed to continue with the lives the Crown has spoken. Order.
God damn it. I have to plug my ears when you do that now.
Oh my shit. Look at this, dude.
This mallet is destroyed.
Look at this piece, dude.
I'm still shocked by the breaking point.
The handle is spectacular. Really, I thought that was going to be
I
real
doubted
weak
the
point
handle.
there. I still doubt the handle. Man, this thing's going to get whittled away to nothing. And you're going to break the block, too.
No.
It's
We're fine.
sharding off.
We're fine.
God, King Jae Jong-un, supreme leader.
If English people would stop doing dumb shit, wouldn't have to happen.
Agreed.
Hashtag knock that shit off, English people.
No, we need them. We need the Crown to speak. You know, we got to call our guy back over there. Petra?
Paul the Porter.
Paul the Porter.
Yeah.
We do need to follow up with him and find out if they ever. It sounded like Paul didn't give much of a shit about.
He was going to contact his supervisor. Was that it?
Yeah. Did he mention Peter the Porter?
Well, Peter was gone.
Yeah, he talks about Petra.
Petra was sitting there. Yeah, we finally figured out after re-listening to it that there was a female sitting next to him named Petra, and we didn't catch that when we were talking to him. Right?
We thought he was pronouncing Peter weird.
Yeah, it's Petra. Like, okay, if you want to call him Petra,
we'll call him Peter. He said he was going to inquire with supervisors. You might be right.
Yeah,
and find out if anybody gave a shit about it. But
if there was some prior report that went that was still open. But he's like, don't go looking for work.
Yeah. I'm not going to go looking for more work.
Yeah.
We have to follow up with him and call back. And then we got a guy, speaking of the river, that was the River
Cam.
The River Cam. We have another river, and this one involves a boyfriend and 2 girlfriends. So he has a girlfriend. He breaks up with her. He starts banging this other chick.
It happens.
Yeah. His name is Woo Hisia.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
He had broken up with his long-term girlfriend, Jun Ting.
Ooh, me sorry, me no speak Chinese.
After meeting a new love, Rong Si. in
I
East
don't
China.
feel like Chinese tonight anyway.
Do you seriously just scan places so we make sure we have an article?
Believe it or not,
we
I
handle
don't.
things internationally here. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
We
international
scan the
based show.
wires for interesting topics.
The wires. Thinking about the taker tape or
The
what is it?
taker tape, the ticker tape.
What is that
The
thing?
taker tape. Yeah. No, you're right.
No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
I don't know.
It's the taker tape, and we read those too. Okay.
thing from
We
the-
scan everything. Microfiche. It doesn't matter.
Microfiche.
We check it every day.
Microfiche. There's
We look at all that shit.
Are there any libraries that still have microfiche that you can check out? Do you think or no?
I don't know,
Been to
man.
the library
You know what,
since high
dude?
school.
I've been going to the library recently. You know, because I don't have cable.
Plus, it's a good place to
And
rent
so-
DVDs.
They what?
If you you don't live by the place that
You
I
can
go
rent
to.
TVs there.
No DVDs.
That's what I'm. That's
okay.
where I'm going, son of a
Okay.
bitch. So I don't have cable.
Seriously?
Yeah. So me and my boys have been going and getting like James Bond movies and stuff.
I have a
But-
whole catalog of movies here. I've got
I know.
2,000 of
Yeah,
them.
but they all have boobies and shit. You know. And
Awesome.
and
The kids will love them.
they're all rated R. is my
Manny
point.
and Russ will love them.
I
They'll
agree.
appreciate it.
and I'm not opposed to some of those, but we're looking for certain kind of stuff like James Bond and all that. So boom, it's all right there. We've been getting them, but the cool thing is the checkout. They've got like these radio signal things in them, stickers or however they
Mhm.
do that. So you just it's like they're putting librarians out of business. You walk up to this little kiosk thing, you throw them in there, and it reads what they are, and you just wave your your card, and boom, it's done. Walk
great,
out.
They're
Dude.
free?
Yes.
Dude, it's a library.
I know, but I
long
wouldn't
as
think
you have
could
a
get
library
free
card.
DVDs there.
Dude, it's a. Do you understand the concept of a library?
I do, but
you
I
are
would.
borrowing them. You're not taking them and keeping them. You have to bring them back.
You do at Blockbuster too, but they still charge you for
I
them.
understand, but this is a public library in the
I-
community.
I
in
didn't
which
know they
you
were
pay
in the movie
taxes.
house business. I didn't realize that. I
and
haven't been to the library in a while.
They've had DVDs for a long time.
And honestly, at the one I go to, dude, they don't. It's not even just James Bond.
It's a ton of
I watched.
stuff,
I
yeah.
watched the whole. I got. That's why I watched Dexter.
Yep,
Was-
they've got all TV series. They've
like
you
and
could go rent The Hangover. You know, it's not just vanilla type stuff.
No
I
kidding.
mean, Dexter. I watched Dexter from the library. That's how I rented the DVDs for Dexter.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah.
Apparently you two clowns. Well, this guy, over the following 3 months, June kept hassling this guy to get back with her, pressuring Wrong to leave him. Eventually, he says, we decided to arrange a meeting between the three of them at a nearby park next to a river. I was sick of being nagged, but I was sick of being nagged by both sides. Wrong was moaning about June, and June was moaning about her, and it all got too much. I became confused about who I wanted, so I thought it would be best if we all met and talk about it. But when we got to the river, the situation went from bad to worse. Woo's ex-girlfriend, the girls began arguing, and then June flipped and jumped off the bridge into the river, straight into the water. She was calling she was saying, help. But then Wrong also leapt over saying it was her or my ex. So now
Oh,
both
God.
chicks are in the water, and they're both yelling for him to save me. And he's going, shit.
How about I save neither of you?
Yeah.
Neither.
I was completely dumbfounded about what was going on. But then I realized that I had to do something. So I also jump in river, but to save Wrong. He was going strictly for Wrong. He didn't give a shit about the other chick.
That's not right.
I know. He drags her ashore, and then he phones his brother to rescue the floundering ex before taking
Well, it's a
Wrong
little late-
home.
little late now, don't you think? Why? By the way, if you're gonna jump in after the one, why not make the call saying, "Hey, I got some people down here, need some help," and then you jump in after the other?
Not everybody thinks so quickly and clearly as
Well,
you.
I'm very level-headed when in panic situations, Jay.
Well, Woo's brother couldn't be bothered with it. He called the fire brigade. He was like, I ain't fucking coming down there to just jump in to save your crazy
Pluck
ex-girlfriend.
some ex out of yours out of the river.
Get outta here.
No.
Yeah.
Would you do that for G? G calls you. Hey, Mike, my ex-girlfriend's in the river.
I'd be like,
What's he calling me for?
He'd be lucky if I called the fire brigade. Yeah, I probably wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, wrong number. You don't call this number again.
Jay would have to determine how hot she was. What if she was really hot?
No, Mike
Yeah,
wouldn't care.
she's hung up on my
Mike-
brother. What do I give a
She's
shit?
in a river, dude. Mike's at home.
Yeah.
I know,
Not
but,
happening.
but if you get there,
No,
The
Mike
best
wouldn't do it.
I could offer would be to call, text Jay about it and hope that he felt bad and acted. I pass a message wrong to Jay. First, G would know better than even call me. He would
Right,
he'd
right.
call someone else.
I was put in a difficult situation. I had to make a choice between right and wrong. I chose a wrong.
It was his
How
quote.
ridiculous.
Isn't that funny?
That was really his quote.
I swear to God, I was put in a difficult situation. Had to make a choice between right and wrong. WRONG. He admitted, and I chose a wrong. RONG, which was her name.
Jeez Louise, Jay.
Who's
He's
on
got-
first?
He's got bitches fighting over him.
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah.
cool. Have you ever had bitches fight over you?
I don't think so.
I don't either. No, I mean, I don't think you have either. But I don't think I have either. Had you know,
maybe in 4th grade or something. I
Yeah.
don't know.
maybe. E.
I
just kidding.
No,
That was
hilarious.
I had a never
what?
fight.
What'd you got?
I didn't never fight, but I had a time where I had to be the one to choose between two girls.
Really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
In real life?
Yes, in real life.
Were you in a movie too, like K-Dog?
No.
No.
I was,
How did this happen?
I was talking to this one chick, and we'd hooked up a few times, and I talked to that other.
Is one of them Dawn?
No, I was talking to another chick, the one that I brought over to my buddy's house at late at night, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is,
God, I get all your women.
they found out that I was the one was like, "Who are you texting all the time?" And finally, I just let her know, there's this other chick, blah, blah, blah. and she told me that I had to choose between them and them or whatever.
Wait, was one of them pregnant with another guy's child?
no,
at the
but
time?
one of them did have a kid and was living with another guy at the time.
Sounds like a good one to get involved with.
And that's when I
For sure.
chose.
Good boy.
No, you know why I chose her? It was simply a geography thing because the other one lived further away. So
The mind of a simpleton. Gotta love it. Remember the night Troy had like 4 chicks he was juggling at Roosevelt's?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yes.
He had they were in like 4 corners of this big bar, and he
Yeah.
was going around and having a drink with one, and then he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I gotta make
Right,
a phone
crazy,
call."
crazy.
And then he'd go over here and have a drink with this one and be like, "Oh, it's crazy, I gotta make a call." He did this all.
I remember him
awesome.
laughing his ass off. all
Yeah,
the time.
it's fucking hilarious.
Love it.
Ugh.
That's great.
We got a we actors.
Why are they all so wee?
I don't know. Well, people are taking notice. They have been for a while. Some of these really surprised me, actually.
I think Tom Cruise is the classic, right?
Yeah,
Everybody knows
Hoffman and Cruise.
Oh, you're talking about those wee actors.
Yeah,
Like actors
yeah, like
that are
real actors who are we.
Yep. And they're the
Well, I thought you
Yeah,
meant
we're not
like-
talking about a different species.
Okay.
yeah, we're talking about human actors.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the ones you'd know in Hollywood. Actors, they say, were once strapping hunks, thick-chested, barrel-chested guys. You know, Clint Eastwoods of the world. John Wayne, 6'4", Gregory Peck, 6'3", Charlton Heston, 6'3", Eastwood, 6'4". They were big men playing big
6'4".
characters.
Wow.
Compare that with recent Oscar ceremony when Eddie Redmayne was announced as a winner, Best Actor category. He was the Stephen Hawking role. He's 5'10", which is actually kind of tall for Hollywood these days. With Westerns basically fading out of favor, no longer do men need to be tall enough to sling a leg over a horse. Generally, films these days are less likely to contain the sort of bar brawls, tough guy scraps that scenes require the guy to be big and burly and all that kind of stuff. The modern leading man is more likely to be required to burst into tears and go shopping.
Oh my God.
Go shop.
By the way, Jay, did it say with Westerns fading out of favor? Like, I know they pop up once in a while, but it hasn't been a long time since Westerns
Since
were.
they've faded out of favor.
Yeah, it
Like,
has been.
It's like, I mean, I can't. I mean,
Like they're
they show up
talking
once
about back in those days where you had
Okay.
to be this big,
Okay.
giant dude.
Well, yeah, Clint Eastwood and the
Dustin Hoffman, 5'5".
Wee little man.
Yeah, he's just
five. You know, I know we said yesterday, you guys, we were talking about hair and size, and like it's weird that you like. Why would it matter that this guy's short? That you wouldn't be respected as much.
Mm.
But it's funny when you say Dustin Hoffman is 5'5", I do kind of think like I'm 6'2". Holy fuck! If Dustin Hoffman was over here, I'd be towering over him.
Yeah, you would.
And
You
it's
would.
Dustin Hoffman.
They
What
say-
does it matter?
That was going to be my point. What are you talking about? What does it matter?
It
So
doesn't,
you're taller
but
than him.
but it just seems funny.
Yeah,
It just
you
seems-
had no control over it, and neither did he.
Yeah.
But
I know,
but
but
it is weird.
But it seems funny because you just have. I think you do have this idea though that those people are going to be like. It just seems odd that I would.
No,
tower.
I assume they're all 5'5" because that's what they turn out to be. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is
It's weird.
funny. And
I mean,
and
even Nate came over here the other day.
Yeah,
and we're towering
he's
over. him.
5'9" at best.
Yeah.
He's like my height. But they say in such parts it matters not how tall you are. What matters is the intensity.
There's a widespread idea these days that the towering height, a thick neck, weightlifter's jawline equals dimness. So Christopher Lee was tall at 6'5", James Bond, Sean Connery 6'2", Christopher Reeve 6'4". Compare those mountain men with the likes of today's Bond, Daniel Craig 5'10", Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins 5'6".
A little wee man.
Dude, I've like on the
He's playing
bridge.
a hobbit, dude.
I would expect that from Bilbo Baggins, though.
I know, but I thought Martin Freeman was. I thought he was like 6'2" on The Office. I swear to God,
He played
maybe
the Tim character, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just thought he was taller. Because John Krasinski,
Yeah.
he came in studio once. He's like 6'5".
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
He's a really tall dude. He
Vince
came in and
Vaughn,
it was
he's
like,
a
holy
tall
fuck.
dude.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn's very tall. Yeah, but they talk about this one surprised me. Brad Pitt, 5'10".
Taller than Brad Pitt. Nice.
Yeah, a lot taller than
I
Brad
know,
Pitt.
as if it matters.
Daniel Radcliffe,
yeah, little
5'5".
Harry Potter, sure. I believe that.
Yeah, Joe Pesci, 5'4". Peter Dinklage, 4'4". Ah, look at that little wee guy. Danny DeVito, 4'4".
Well, yeah.
Or 4'11". Michael J. Fox, 5'4".
Michael
Tom
J.
Cruise,
Fox, damn
5'6".
it.
Well, you
Richard
didn't know Jay
Dreyfuss.
Fox was tiny?
I didn't know he was that short. That
Oh, yeah, Michael J. Fox. Yeah,
Damn
he's
it.
wee.
My boy.
Richard Dreyfuss, 5'4". Martin Sheen, 5'6". Mel Brooks, 5'4".
What is Rick Moranis there? 5'1"?
5'1", yeah.
Really?
Yep.
What happened to Rick Moranis?
Henry Winkler, 5'6". The Fonz was 5'6".
Hey,
Jack,
yeah, right.
Jack Black is 5'6". I didn't realize that. Yeah, he came in studio. He wasn't
Wow.
tall.
Spade,
Josh Hutcherson,
5'6".
5'6". That's crazy. Dudley Moore, 5'2".
What is the average for males in America? Any
6'4".
idea?
I think it's 5'10", I thought.
Yeah, I think it's 5'9". 5'9", maybe 5'10".
Okay.
So it's
Kevin Pollak, 5'4". Yeah, I've met him. He is little. Jason Alexander, 5'4".
Jeez, man, that's significant change from or significantly below average.
Yeah, Martin Short, 5'7". Jason Schwartzman, 5'6".
Why is
Yeah,
Frankie
he's a
Muniz
weird
on
dude.
there? Like, I mean, Malcolm in the Middle was 10 years ago.
I know. It's crazy how many of these people I've met. I didn't even realize
Rob
it.
Schneider. Rob Schneider.
I mean, they've all come in the studio.
Walter.
Did you get
Rob
rejected
Schneider,
by
that
pictures?
son of a bitch. 5'6". Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Did you get rejected with pictures with any of these guys? Nope. Just like
son of a
Pamela
bitch.
Anderson?
Shut up, you son of a bitch.
Can I get a picture with you?
Mrs. Anderson, may I please
Yeah,
take a
don't
picture?
really have time.
Mr. Anderson, can I please take a picture?
Fanboy.
Freddie Rodriguez,
Get
met
out of my
him,
way,
Patton
fanboy.
Oswalt.
God, to get stoned by
Yeah, no. So I didn't want it anyways. I didn't want it. She wanted me to take a picture. I didn't even want it.
Oh, just like you didn't want to go to
Yeah,
that one
no.
guy's band or house party, but you ended up, when he didn't get back to you when you were in LA, you didn't even want to go, you said?
Leif
But-
Garrett.
Yeah. Got stoned by him too in his house party?
I still partied with him the night before, though.
Yeah,
He
but
was just too fucked up to have his barbecue the next
well,
day.
nonetheless.
Can't be blamed for that. Can't be blamed for that.
Weasel
Leif
yourself in,
Garrett.
saying you were going to be out in
Leif
California.
Garrett. I saw his band at the Viper Room. Oh God.
He has
Fuck.
2 moments, and that's all I can hearken to. That's it. So anytime I can bring him up, I have to.
I
think
know
those are
you're
like-
a dickhead. I get it. What do we got for email, Jay?
We do have some email. But before we get to that, hey,
gonna make me
Detroitcast
wait?
listeners,
Son
it's
of a bitch.
time to stroll on down to Zotford and Holly. Not only will you meet the hottest sales staff in Oakland County, but you can also take advantage of their spring cleaning sale. Zotford needs to broom the rest of its 2014 inventory, and it has to go now. They are stake deep, so they got to sell them cheap.
What do you?
Detroit Cast listeners can get 0% financing up to 72 months or rebates and savings that total almost $10,000 on certain 2014 models. Hurry in and see our friends now. Zotford is at I-75 and exit 98. Get there. Yes, we do have some email, but first I wanted to cover something that was raised on Facebook. Mike, you pointed this out to me a few moments before the show. Jeff wrote in. He says, the other day, Big E posted something about the poos, and I asked if the term poos was just for Izzy or a generic term for any pet.
Okay, spelled generic wrong. Jesus fuck. Okay.
Well, there's a point to this, though. Eric went on to explain that it is, as he spelt it, a genetic term for all pets. Number one, that's true, I thought. This was Izzy's nickname. And number two, the spelling bee champion of never, Big E, his reply when he spelt generic, genetic, So my question is, how the fuck do you screw up a word that is your own name, essentially?
Generic.
Because I'm typing shit into my iPhone and I don't
settle down.
It's a word. It's a word that your own name makes up more than half of. Generic.
Well, it just shows you I don't care about even my own self. Whatever.
Good point, Jeff.
And to answer his question, Izzy, by the way, is spelled with 2 Z's. And yes, Izzy is the original Poos, but it's just kind of morphed because of this show into anything that looks kind of mildly adorable.
Oh my God. Speaking of the poos, Craig posted a poos today, a platypus poos.
What? Platypuses are not
Oh
cute.
my God, this thing is
Platypuses
adorable.
are
You
not
rub his
poos.
tummy and his little leg goes.
Look at the poos.
Yeah.
Look at the poos.
Is he a duck? Is he an otter? I don't know.
He is the weirdest looking dude.
It's
I noticed
something,
his
isn't it?
feet, his hands, his webbed hands curl up.
Front hands or back hands?
His back hands. I noticed his back hands curled up. He was like,
I love this.
And just the agility in the water. It's like an otter.
yeah,
The
it's
way
like,
he twirled
who
around.
taught him how
and-
to swim?
Oh,
He was
it's
amazing.
Yeah.
He was a talented little guy. He could win some awards.
It's a duck-billed platypus,
Mhm.
ladies and gentlemen. Is anyone going to catch us a fidget, by the way?
Yeah, people are working on it.
Yeah, I know porn star Connor is. He
Yeah.
emailed
Got
earlier.
three.
That he has one in his office.
Get outta here.
Yes.
It-
There's
What?
one. There's one about in his office.
They're allowed? Is he on a leash?
It's a female. It's a female
What?
version. It's rare. I know it's rare.
Wow.
So
Well.
he's gonna look into maybe a poison dart. We'll see. We'll see how that
Is
goes.
it
Well,
is
you
it
could
one of
just go
those
with,
is it one of those like seeing eye? I mean, does it serve a purpose in the office? Is it one of those for like PTSD stuff? Like you're allowed to bring your pet to work because it's emotional support.
A therapy?
Yeah, what do they call
pet.
those?
Therapy pet.
Yeah, therapy pet.
Therapy
Is that
dog.
what
But this would be a
PSC has going on? PSC has that.
Less than
by the
4
way,
weeks to get one here. So.
I know we're running out of time. That's the point. Somebody has to do this quickly.
Yeah.
Secure one.
Yeah.
We could keep it down here for a few weeks before we go.
Right. Yeah. We don't
Are you really
expect
gonna
you to
trust it
hold on
around?
to it for a
If
week.
you
Like,
could just get it to us.
yeah,
You gonna trust it with all the equipment around here?
yeah, cage it at night.
Oh,
Come on,
okay,
Eve.
okay.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ.
My bad.
Yeah, I gotta let it roam free. Are you nuts? I mean, we'll throw a food bowl in there or whatever.
Little cookie crisp.
By the
right,
way,
Kata?
Beth and I were driving somewhere the other day, and this is gonna piss you off, I know, but she was like on her phone doing something. I said, "What are you doing?"
While she was driving, or you?
No,
were driving?
I was
Okay.
driving. And so she's not talking. She's just on her phone going through all this shit, reading. I'm like, what are you doing? She's trying to get Izzy declared a service animal so that she can take her.
Dude, Izzy is the most. Okay. No, I won't say it. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I said it. I said that animal's a maniac. You're going to fucking just let that thing roam around with you in stores? You nuts?
Izzy, drop it. No, God, get that out of your mouth.
You know how much stuff you're going to have to replace because of your
God.
service animal? I
And
was
why-
like,
why does she-
what is this service you need Izzy to perform? And
Fuck
it's
up a store.
Yeah, I think it's like a what did she say? It's for yeah, like whatever, like
The therapy thing where it just
Yeah,
sits
it's
with
like-
older people or something. She's good for that. She's a nice poos.
but
she's
she
fucking
just
unruly,
selfishly
man.
wants. It's like getting a handicap sticker for your car just because you can, and you're kind of being a dick about it because she doesn't need the emotional support of this dog. She just
Right.
wants it there.
Wow, her and Izzy need. Jeez.
Room, I
Yeah.
know they already have one.
Well, and we know some people's thoughts on Beth.
Yeah,
But Kathy writes in with support for Beth.
Ooh, what
She
is-
says Jay needs to stop reading the negative emails about Beth. I think she does a good job, a great job.
Beth
Really?
doesn't care.
I think it's hurting her a little bit. You're not helping, you son
She
of a
seemed
bitch.
down lately.
Yep.
What did I do?
You're a dick every time she comes in. You yell at her for something. She's taking
treating
it
her like-
personally. She cries herself to sleep, but I'm not. I didn't
treating her
want to
like
say
one-
anything, but
Treating her like one of the guys. I thought that's what she wanted.
Hey, E, speaking of you being a dickhead, Anthony writes in the Eric, Jay, and Mike show. When the fuck did this turn into the E-cast? Why do we have to have that fucktard constantly talking? And why is he 85% of the show? If you don't have enough current events to talk about, then you need a producer for real and not just a title.
ooh,
If he isn't
shot.
saying Jay 25 plus times a show, he's stumbling over words, trying to complete a thought. He's trying to park the bus, is what he's trying to do.
Yep.
Or he just
wheel it
repeats,
around, tight corner, bring it in, bring it in.
Which, as I stated yesterday, I'm not good at parking cars. So,
or he
real
just
or
repeats
metaphorical.
Metaphorically
speaking.
Or he just repeats everything you guys say. He completely wrecks the flow of the show constantly. The laugh track you guys use on the show is terrible too. Oh, wait, that is dipshit laughing out loud at shit that isn't even funny.
I've thought the same thing lately.
He was much better when he was playing on Facebook the whole show.
Yeah, I agree.
I was playing on Facebook.
Someone should do something about that.
Yeah, that's why this show is going swimmingly. If you aren't getting him to share stories to prove to everyone except him that he's gay, he really needs to shut up. He is funny when you do peel the onion, but after that, he's just annoying.
Yeah, I agree.
Goodbye.
Was that written by me? Did I write that?
I mean, you know.
Did I send that in? I can't remember if I sent that in or someone else sent that in.
Goodbye, BUI Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony, comment?
I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, good one.
I'm not worried. if anybody ever thinks I'm gonna go home and like lose sleep over this, I've been made fun of my entire life, beat up, fucking ripped through high school. So if anybody thinks this shit's gonna affect me, good luck.
That's the beauty of Big E. Ross writes in, "Hey guys, and Big E, just had a real quick question on Thursday's episode. Right after you go to break and during the Zot ad, you can hear a ting sound twice. Sounds like someone tapping a glass or something to that effect. I was just curious what the noise was because I've heard it several times in past episodes."
Yeah,
Mike?
It is when you pause when you mute the camera and when the microphone, and when you mute the camera, it gives that sound. So the way you're supposed to do it, is wait till that stops playing the music and then pause it, and then you'll get that afterwards, which I'll delete in post.
Okay, that was the first time I've ever.
Post-production. We've talked about it before.
You talked about it once today
This is
that I've
an
never
issue.
heard of, but
This is an issue, everybody. If anybody's been bothered at all by that ding, you know who to direct the email it.
Oh, my email's right here, man. I never see it. Nobody seems to send these to me.
Yeah, they send it to me. They send it to me.
Well, why
Everybody
not?
bitches to me
Why not send them to me too?
because everybody knows you fuck faces don't read your email. So
Are you kidding me? I read my. You can say what you want
I
about
read
me, but
mine.
I read my text. I get back to you usually very fast.
had Anthony sent that to you, would you have read it?
Hell yeah, I would have read
I
it.
doubt it.
I would have shown it to you. Are you kidding me? I would have showed it to you guys. I would have printed out and showed it to you.
He totally would have. He would have gone, fuck this guy.
No,
I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
Read it if you want.
I'm going to drive home today, listen to Bowling for Soup and sing it along, and I won't care.
Our friend Nina writes in, "Gentlemen, story about picking instruments in elementary school. I was in the 4th grade, and my friend and I both decided that on choosing day, we would both pick the clarinet to play. Well, on the day of choice, said friend and I got into a little tiff. So I chose the violin instead without telling her.
The fiddle?
Face.
What a little
Fidel?
bitch I was, says Nina.
Fidel.
I actually stuck with the violin all
Fidel?
through middle school and high school and competed in several solo and ensemble festivals.
Well,
By my senior year, I was seated as second chair, first violin.
Ah.
The girl seated first chair was a virtuoso and younger than me. There was no way I could take her down.
Ooh.
Of course, true to the orchestra nerds we were always very vocal about needing new G strings.
I get it.
Yeah, band nerd jokes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I haven't played since graduating high school, but hope to take some legions again someday.
Hey, there you go.
Well, I got what I can sell you.
That's not for sale.
Oh, sorry.
Your Fidel is not for sale.
Well, times are tough. Maybe they might be tough on you, but times are tough in the Fady pocketbook.
Two things are never getting sold: your journal, your diary, and
My journal.
your diary and your Fidel. Those are Detroit Cast
It's
properties.
gonna be motherfucking weird if 10 years from now we're doing this show and I really seriously won't be able to touch my own journal. like I'll try to be journal.
Diary.
Diary.
Also, says Nina, I just wanted to let you know that I always say thank you when the door is open for me. But admit it, guys, sometimes you get the benefit of sneaking a peek at a nice ass when you open the door.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
duh.
Perhaps Mike gets this benefit more than Jay, since Jay is more of a breast man.
True.
Even if the intention isn't 100% chivalrous, I appreciate it just the same. Winky face!
Nice.
Nina.
But that's not necessarily fair. Yeah, that's an added bonus if it happens. But I hold the door for fat asses too.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't discriminate. I hold the
Hold
door,
for anybody.
I hold the door for
Exactly.
anybody.
Yeah.
In fact,
Even E. I held the door for E for
how about
Christ's
that uncomfortable deal where you see somebody, they're a little too far, you could let it go, but you're like, yeah, I'm gonna hold the door for them. Then you hold it, and they do that like little like fake kind of run. Yeah, they kind of do the shuffle, like they're showing you, oh, I see you're holding it for me. And
is there a spot where you're like they're on their own and you let it? Because if it's like
weird, it's hard to define, but you know it when you see it.
But I've gotten dangerously close to being a dick. Like I feel like if the door would shut in their face, if they kept their current pace, then I should probably wait.
Absolutely.
If it's something that closes all the way and they're still 10 feet away,
perfect.
You made the right move.
Yeah.
You did.
But there's that fine ground in between the 10 feet
where the shuffle occurs.
Right, where the
shuffle often occurs.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah, we've all seen the shuffle. I hate that too. Where
and then you have this little exchange where you're like, no, it's fine. And you do this dumb little social thing.
Take your time.
Yeah. No, I got you. It's good.
I hate that one where I've done this before too, where I start holding the door and I realize I've made a mistake in judgment here. They're too far away. And I let it go, and then they pick up the pace. Then I feel like, now I'm a dick. And then sorry. And I kind of hold open the door again. And
that's
like,
the worst case scenario.
No, you know what's funny where that fake shuffle also comes in, Jay, is crossing the street. Like when that like the timing comes, we're at a stop sign or 3, 2, 1 on the crosswalk.
Yep, someone shuffles across.
Yeah, you kind of
For those that do that are like, because I hate this one too, when a light turns green and some asshole is halfway through the intersection and they're just going to take their sweet ass time. I'll go in front of them.
Yeah.
I'll turn in front of them. Fuck you.
That.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. Right. That seems like a new phenomenon too, where it's like, you can wait your sweet ass time for me to hustle across the street and they'll just keep walking slowly.
Yeah. How do you show no sense of urgency too in that situation?
I have no idea.
It's like, speed it up. I'm not asking for the shuffle, but I'm asking for you to walk as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
You're now in a thoroughfare.
Yeah, you are. At least acknowledge the fact that the light has turned green and people are waiting on you. Totally. Yeah, that'd be a nice acknowledgement, like a little wave, like, sorry, I'm a dick. I know.
Totally.
They
know it. They know it. It's like they don't care. It's rude.
Wesley writes in, good morning, gentlemen. With Big E's many documented.
Sorry.
Did you just snort into the microphone?
I burped.
Oh,
excuse me.
He's had these.
That wasn't that.
While E and I have been posting the show.
That was only one day.
Dude, it was yesterday too.
I had one burp. It wasn't like the ones that were the other day when I
had this crazy thing happening. I'm having to sit next to this dude and we're
Who
both
stinks
looking at the computer
anyways.
monitor. Yes, and we're trying to get this done. And he's just like gurfing, like just really deep from the bowels of his bowels.
When I'm sick, because
just drawing it up, and it's just wicking out of his mouth.
Gross.
You could almost cut it with a knife.
Oh, did it stink?
You could almost take a little butter knife and spread it on to something. Yeah, it was.
When I am
nasty.
sick, I don't know how to make myself burp. And when I was sick, how I was, it was just like, it's just gas kept building up in my stomach and just come out in these little things. And that's what
the
happened.
dude is just so rank in so many ways.
Yeah.
And having to sit next to this guy for hours. Anyway, with Biggie's many documented years of broadcasting experiences, Wesley, you would think he would speak into the mic by now. Somehow, Beh was easier to understand than Big E when she was in studio. And I don't think she even had a microphone at all. No, she did. She just wasn't speaking into it. But I have been perplexed as to why the audio from his stand-up routines is crystal clear, but you can't understand a word he says in the studio most of the time. I think I may have found the solution to this ongoing problem. I've attached a picture showing one of his recent comedy shows. He seems to have a custom microphone just for him that makes him more comfortable on stage. Perhaps he is too embarrassed to bring it to studio, but I think it would help immensely. Nice little Photoshop job there.
That's got a pair of balls on it. Dickhead for a mic head.
It's a good looking mic, huh? What do you think about that?
Yeah, you seem
better
to-
than a Vagine.
You seem to favor that.
mic.
I'm not even holding it in this picture.
You wish you were holding the dick mic? Is that what you're
It's
saying?
right in your face. You're talking right into it.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
That's actually not a bad idea for a microphone.
It seems to be more. I know. It's pretty sweet looking, actually.
Why don't people dress up microphones like that?
Yeah, it's one of these boring mics.
Yeah, boring mics. We need to.
Been doing the same thing since 1920 or whatever when radio started.
Says Wesley, bye for now and good day, sir.
I said
good day. All right. Last one for the day. This is a good one. I have to warn you.
For the week.
Last one for the week. The last email of the week. AA Non writes in. Not AA Ron, but AA Non.
Okay.
Hi, gentlemen and E. AA9 here. I was listening to episode number 303 today, and your discussion of E running with no underwear brought a long-forgotten memory screaming back to my brain. Back in the day, I was a talented high school runner. For years, there's a prestigious high school,
Yes.
I'm going to start saying that.
Prestigious.
There's a prestigious high school track meet called the Midwest Meet of Champions. It's like a mini Olympics for high schoolers where every state in the Midwest fields a team.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be chosen to participate, and it's the best of the best from every state.
The Meet of Champions. Is it
Yeah.
MEAT?
Shut up.
What?
No, it's
you familiar with the Meet of Champions?
I am.
You are.
Big dick contest. I got asked to go my senior year, says AA9, and there was no way I was going to miss it. I blew off my prom to go. My high school coach was, and this is a chick.
I'd like
by
to
the
know
way.
what what the event was. Be really interested.
This is a chick, by the way. So she blew off prom.
Wow.
High school asked to be one of the coaches of the Michigan team, so he went as well, her coach. After my event, I went up to the top of the stands in the stadium to hang out with my coach and the other Michigan team coaches and watch the rest of the meet. The last event of any track meet is the men's mile or 4x400 relay.
Yep.
The Michigan guys were winning the event until they handed off the baton to their final runner. So you picture this.
Uh-oh.
They're in the lead,
Oh, my
handed off the
God.
final guy. He came flying around the first turn, holding on to first place.
The anchor.
That was the point when his ample schlong fell out of his shorts and was flopping all over the place. That guy spent the next 300 yards multitasking, trying to hang onto the baton, keep the lead, and stuff his dick back into his shorts.
ample, by the way.
Yeah, she picked up on that.
Yeah, and East E did too.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did. He's like,
Do we got any pictures?
You
or
said
video?
it
It's
before I
ample.
did.
You said it was ample,
Well,
right? I'm trying to get this into my head here.
You
Don't blame
responded
me.
before me.
no, I didn't.
Trying to picture it. I'm trying to picture it. It's ample. What does ample mean?
Define
Biggie.
ample.
More than average.
I need a visual.
It's bigger than a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he was only successful on only one of those fronts. He was not able to keep his dick in his shorts for any amount of time,
But
and
did
he
he win?
finally gave up trying and just let it do its thing. He also was not able to hang onto the lead.
Oh, now that's
The
too.
only thing he did do was hang onto the baton.
Yeah.
When it all happened, his coach, who was among the group I was sitting with, threw his clipboard with three old school stopwatches. So picture those.
Oh,
glass
yeah.
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Chucks it down on the ground, concrete as hard as he could. As he did, he was screaming a stream of expletives and vulgarity that started with "God damn it!" and finished with "That fucking blank isn't wearing a jock strap." There's no way that any of those watches could have survived the impact.
Wait a minute. Nobody wears jock straps running. I know people wear, usually it's like Brock's or briefs or whitey tighties
This
usually.
is back in the day, man.
Okay,
We don't
okay.
know how old AA9 is.
Okay.
Anyway, your discussion about underwear-less running brought it all back. I can only imagine Big E running around Milford, totally clueless, terrorizing strangers. Ugh. Gentlemen, keep up the great work. E, keep your stock in your shorts. AA9 out.
That's funny because E probably wouldn't even know if his dick fell out.
Yeah,
That's the
you're right.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Like it's happened before where his dick kind of falls out of his pants and he doesn't even know it.
Why not? You're right.
Your zipper's down every time you wear jeans. Every time without fail, your zipper is down the
Yeah.
whole time, and we have to go, dude.
Pull up your bra.
Yeah.
I want to know. I know this is so neat, nerdy, but I actually do want to know what the fucking event that she was there for. was.
Well, maybe she'll email
yeah,
in
if you
with
can
that.
write back, I just would like to know because
Yeah.
I'm a nerd and I like track and field shit.
All right. All right. That should do it for a Friday.
I said good day, sir.
Good day. So when does our voting end for the podcast awards?
24th, so we still got time, guys.
days.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah. And we're just for those keeping track. We'll be doing a show for Monday, Tuesday,
And Wednesday.
and Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be early because I have a flight in the afternoon, so we're going to do an early show for Wednesday, and then won't be
Thursday,
back till Monday.
Friday, best ofs.
Yep.
Some E specials.
Ah, boy, you working them out, E?
Yeah.
You guys are gonna
Ah,
want to
boy,
hear
that
this.
didn't sound very
Yeah, where he
confident.
kind of looks to the side.
Yeah.
You're gonna see him doing that to his mom all the time. Yeah, ma. God,
I'll get on it. It'll get done.
let me finish my tuna fish sandwich. God,
I hate tuna fish, by the way.
let me finish wiping Nana's ass. God.
She's stinking again. So anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. Go ahead and vote for the podcast awards. I guess they go till Tuesday.
Midnight on the 24th.
Okay. Comedy.
2,300 hours, 59 minutes.
Yep. And the People's Choice. And with that, we'll call it a day for a Friday. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday with an all new edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch